We are live.
All right, welcome everybody to the kicking off our series of smaller shows. My name is Ryan, and I will be your narrator for this evening in Whatever Happened to Sven, a game set in the Tales from the Loop system. But Jonathan, I think you've got some stuff to say to folks.
We do. We just wanted to remind everybody and let you all know, for those of you who are new, or for those of you who don't know, this stream, and as well as our streams on Mondays, for a few more weeks now, have been sponsored by Hero Forge. If you're not familiar with Hero Forge, you should really check out our stuff over on YouTube. We've done a bunch of tips on how to pose your minis there. Also just some really fun videos that we do creating characters. This week on Wednesday, we're going to have Rolda. That was a fun episode. And then the following week, we sat down with CJ Long from Don't Stop Thinking and Cool History Bros. And we made a character that he's going to be playing in a few weeks in a game GM'd by this guy right here doing his table flip. So be sure to check out all that stuff. And if you're not familiar with Hero Forge, what they are, they're a mini creator. So you can build your mini and pose them and have it sent to you, or you can get the download and print it off on your home 3D printer. That's what I like to do. They've also got color coming out. They got dozens of fantasy races that they come up. I think 38 is the count now. Thousands of different items. You can mix and match everything, make wild abominations or accurate depictions of your character, whatever you're into. So please show them some support, and that'll, help show us some support. That's all I got for you. It's your show now, Ryan.
All right. Well, the first thing that I want to do for all of you is to introduce you to some of these absolutely fantastic people that are playing this game with me today. So I want to start things off in the square right next to me. We have RV. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us who you're playing, and tell everybody where they can find you when you're not here today and next Sunday for part 2.
Hi, my name is RV Bassa, and I will be playing Enid Jensen, who is the bookworm, 13 years old, who's into horror movies and cult movies. And you can find me. I'm actually on the Rise of the Demigods podcast, so you can find me at the God's Fall Twitch channel and YouTube channels.
Yeah, and that is a really fun and fantastic show. It's one that we really love, especially listening to like road trips and all that kinds of stuff. And so lots of really fun players there. Speaking of really fun players, we have Marina in the box next to you.
Yeah, so I play Ren. She's a 13-year-old rocker, pretty stubborn, but also very loyal. And when I am not streaming here, you can find me on the Roll with Advantage podcast, which is DM's Table on Twitter.
That's a lot of fun. I have been lucky enough to play with the DM's Table Roll with Advantage a couple of times. Really great group of people. Starting off on the bottom row, we have Beth.
Hello, I'm Beth. I'm online. I go by Arcady. Today I am playing Tiffany Hornquist, who is the 14-year-old popular kid. She's a lot charming, a little bit manipulative. She likes soccer and excels on the debate team. And you can find me online. I'm primarily a cosplayer, so you can find me on my cosplay pages as Arcady Cosplay.
Absolutely fantastic. And then wrapping things up, we the last two are our very own mercenaries and or mischiefy type folks. We have Jonathan.
Yes, I am Jonathan, sometimes known as the Mad Maker. Known by lots of other names here on this channel.
We cannot say out loud.
Well, those as well, but that's off stream. I'm going to be playing Noah Olson, the Hick, who is quite handy with machinery and technology. And you can find me here. This channel takes up all my time, so this is where you can find me.
Absolutely. And somebody else that you can find here, lots of places, but also here on a regular basis, we have Skylar.
Hi, I'm Sky. Noctum Sky over on YouTube. That is where you can find me. Today I'll be playing Wilhelm Olsen. He is a 10-year-old, although he wants everybody to call him Rasmus. And he is convinced he is going to be the next Swedish ninja, or the first Swedish ninja, actually. So it should be interesting.
The next in the long tradition of Swedish ninjas.
Absolutely. Swedish ninjas, funny enough, are the best ninjas. That's why you've never heard of them. Japanese ninjas are the worst. Everybody knows Japanese ninjas are real.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, dudes and dudettes, we're going to have a totally tubular time in the 80s that never was. The world of Tales from the Loop is an alternate reality where in the 1940s or 50s, we discovered fission technology. And so we are in the 1980s. There's no such thing as the internet, and cell phones weigh 40 pounds and nobody has one unless you're kind of a jerk and want to look really cool. But we also have some really amazing sci-fi stuff, like dinosaur clones that are the size of a Pekingese and hoverbikes. And all of it is thanks to the Loop, a giant technological marvel. And our Loop is in Sweden. All of our players are playing children, kids ranging between 10 and 15 years old, all school-age children that are friends. This is a fun, tight-knit little group from the town of Stenhammer. Stenhammer is sort of right in the middle of the island where they all live. It's about a 45-minute drive to the gates of or so to be able to get to the capital. And it's still a little rural. Nobody has challenged the mayor of Stenhammer and run against him for the last 10 or 15 years, but someone finally is. There's rumors that maybe next year everyone's getting a mall in the land that was purchased just outside of town from Old Man Johnson and his giant farm. And the absolute pride of the mayor of Stenhammer is that last year Stenhammer was voted the most average town in all of Sweden.
Ooh.
All of our kids have been on their holiday break for the last couple of weeks, and they'll be going back to school in the fall starting tomorrow. Things have turned a little bit chilly, the nights are long, and most of them have been doing a little bit of traveling or busy otherwise, and they haven't really gotten to see each other that much. Some of the really important things to understand, all of the players here know this, but for you watching along about Tales from the Loop, there's strange and amazing and fantastical things in this world, but for the kids, everyday life is absolutely dull and boring, just like it was when we were kids. Adults might have good intentions, but they're a little bit out of touch, and they're never really a lot of help. The lands around the Loop are dangerous, and our kids are going to be in dangerous situations, scary situations. They might get a little bit hurt and banged up, but in Tales from the Loop, kids never die, so you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. We play this game scene by scene, and we'll jump around a lot, so it might be a little less linear than what you're used to. And we describe the scenes and the world collaboratively. I'm not really a game master here. I'm just a narrator, stepping in and helping to move the story along. So let's jump into things. Every group of friends has their clubhouse, their hideout, their fortress. It's one of the most fun things that we get to have as a kid, and the 5 of you are no exception. So each one of you already knows something that you've brought to the clubhouse, something to make it really, really cool, but also make it feel like your space and your home. The first thing that I want to do is go around and collaboratively describe where the clubhouse is. How did you find it? what is it? What type of building or found structure or abandoned something or other do we have here? We were absolutely going to be playing off of the idea of sort of yes and or no but. We're going to be building each other up, and we're going to bounce around. So, let me ask Enid. Enid, who is it that found the hideout on that day about 2 years ago? Everyone was on bikes. You all knew that you were going to be late getting home before dinner. Stop. Wait, what's that over there?
I think that Noah probably would have found the hideout first.
All right. So Noah, what was it that you noticed? Why did you stop? And describe what was going on as you got the rest of the kids up closer to the place.
We were near the loop, where I have a tendency to pay a little more attention. It's a fascinating spot. There's a lot of neat stuff in there that I want to know more about, but there's kind of maybe an abandoned guard shack a little bit further away, probably from a previous project when they were first building it. And it was just far enough away that it didn't seem like it would really be noticed or missed, but it was close enough that I was able to tap into the loop's power grid and wire it up so that we could get some electronic devices and a refrigerator and, you know, the little touches that you need.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. I think up there with Noah on your bikes, we probably had Ren and Tiffany, and we'll say that Enid and Rasmus were hanging back a little bit further. So, yeah, Ren and Tiffany, let me know what it was like, that long weekend that all five of you spent. What did the two of you do? Or let's say between the two of you, there was a little bit of a contentious moment about what goes where, or building a new window or something like that. Tell me about that moment when you guys were trying to sort of have a bit of a disagreement on what to do with the place.
Well, you got to make it comfy if you want it to be a clubhouse, and a guardhouse, not quite so comfy. And, you know, it has to be aesthetically pleasing if you want us to hang out there a lot. And, you know, I wanted some plants and maybe some lights and cushions, and I think maybe Ren has a different aesthetic sometimes.
Well, I mean, I think things like music are really important for the environment. Give it some ambiance. And plants, there's already plants outside the guard shack all around.
We could make it prettier inside with specific plants that aren't just, you know, wild, overgrown ones that are kind of helping to hide the guard shed from view. We could have some flowers around.
Well, as long as we have a good, easy spot to access the boombox, that's all I really care about.
I think we all can agree on that one.
Okay, good.
All right, there we go. So we're cleaning some spaces out, getting some purposeful plants. We've got a banging boombox situation that's going on. And so, yeah, that takes us to Rasmus and Enid. How is it that the two of you made this your own? And let's have Rasmus. What's the one sort of surprising discovery you noticed that everybody else missed that makes this place really special?
So when I was sneaking around, like doing a perimeter check, making sure that everything was like safe, because, you know, like you got to stay in the shadows. You got to make sure there's no one hiding out. I discovered out back there was this little mini fridge that was like half, like it had been thrown away and kind of overgrown. But it was like when I showed it to Noah, he said it was totally fixable. So it was a perfect discovery.
The compressor was still intact, and the Freon chamber was complete. There was no leaks there. That's what's important. So I just had to replace the compressor motor, and it was fine.
Yeah, you hate a leaky Freon chamber. Absolutely. And yeah, Enid, what is it that you contributed? Let's say you guys have been in you had already found the place. Everyone thought it was perfect for about a month, and then everybody showed up for a board game day, and you had been there for hours already working on a special project. What did you do for everybody?
Hey guys, so we have this blank wall over here, and I was thinking, maybe like we can come here at night sometimes and watch some like cult movies. So I brought this holo projector, and it's got some cool movies on it that I found out going to the video store that's programmed into the holo projector. And I kind of want to just like show you some of the things that I've been watching, if that's okay with everyone.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah?
What do you have? Do you have Star Wars on that?
Yeah, there's Star Wars, but there's all sorts of stuff on here. And I'm kind of partial to like scary movies and like horror movies. I don't know if that's your thing really, but I've got Evil Dead.
Ooh. Yeah.
We're kind of out here in the in like the wilderness, and it's kind of like being in a cabin, right?
Absolutely fantastic. And that cult classic, The Bride of Frankenstein. All right, cool. So that's what we've got. It sounds like we have an abandoned guard shack that's a little bit out in the woods, a little bit away, closer to the gate that leads into the loop. There's these high concrete walls that are about 25 feet tall that you have to get through. And there's the main entrance. But yeah, if you spend about 20 minutes on your bike down the road, and then another 5 or 10 minutes walking through the forest, that's where we have our abandoned shack full of awesome music, a holo projector, the electricity works. Apparently we have a refrigerator that I suppose works and isn't going to give you all food poisoning. Wonderful plants inside, and a great radio. So that's awesome. And that's been your hideout for the last 2 years or so. So that brings us to the present time. Tomorrow, everyone is back to school. So this is your last day. The whole group of you have spent most of the day here at the shack working on various projects, hanging out, board games, dance parties, movies, all kinds of fun stuff before having to go back to class tomorrow. Let's go ahead and say that I'm going to say 3 of you are on the inside and 2 of you are a little bit further away, goofing around doing something out in the forest. Who is it that wants to be in the clubhouse right now? All right. Tiffany.
I'll be in the clubhouse.
All right, Tiffany, Enid, and who else is in the clubhouse?
I'll be in the clubhouse.
All right, Tiffany, Noah, and Enid are all in the clubhouse. So that means that we have Rasmus and Ren that are hanging out out in the woods. It's a little bit later in the day. It's probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. You've got a little bit of time before everybody has to get back on their bikes to head home so that you don't break curfew or anything like that. Ren and Rasmus, you're sort of out in a clearing that you discovered. You hadn't noticed it before. Looks like maybe it had been cleared out a number of months ago. You guys have just never wandered this way. So let's open this scene up there with Ren and Rasmus sort of just hanging out. But I'm sure that there's a reason why the 2 of you wanted to come out here to look for something, work on something, just a chance to chat. We'll have that show up at some point. We'll open up the scene, and I'm going to let the 2 of you take it away.
Okay. Is this clearing, like, is there tall grass here? Like, is it kind of overgrown, or?
Yeah, it's a little bit messy still. It's not like it's been cleared out perfectly or mowed or anything, but there's not nearly as many trees as far as clearings. When I say clearings, there's not a lot of trees, but it's still definitely the woods.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I know the other day I ran into some wild dino clones, and I wonder if I can find them again. See if maybe we can like make one a pet or something.
totally down for that. You're probably like one of the toughest people I know, so I want to learn everything I can. And like, watch this. And Rasmus is gonna like duck in the grass, and you can probably totally see the grass moving, but then he pops up like 3 feet later, and he's like, "I just didn't know I was here. I'm like a ninja."
Oh, totally. That you totally got me there.
Yeah, we got this. We can catch us a dinosaur.
That I love it. I love it. So yeah, tell me, what is it that who wants to take lead on trying to find a way to hunt down, or not hunt, but find these wild domesticated dino clones? And they're anyway from the size of like a small dog up to like a Great Dane. Even though they might look like a dinosaur, they're not normal dinosaur size. Who wants to take point on that?
I'll take point.
All right, so then Ren, how is it, what are you doing? Describe to me in detail, and as Ren, what is Ren doing here?
So I'm looking at the trees on the edge of the clearing to see if any of them have any like weird scruffs on the bark low on the trees, or are there any areas that have been trampled a lot as if dino clones were wrestling around. Just trying to find signs of dino clones. Not
All
quite
right.
sure what they would be, but I'm sure that when I come upon it, I will know it.
Absolutely, yeah. You're like, I'm gonna look for tracks. I don't know what dino clone tracks look like, but if I find them, okay. So that definitely you're looking around and trying to figure it out. So for me, that's going to be a mind check. If you've got one of the more specific skills that you want to get even more specific in your description to convince me of, you'll probably be able to convince me of it. Or just roll a straight up mind. Which one do you want to do?
I was thinking investigate.
Okay. I can see that because you're looking specifically for like the scratch marks and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no condition that's on the line for this one. Those of you that are watching along, there are conditions that make things more difficult for our players, but it's never life and death. So there's no condition on here. Let's just roll a straight up investigate. So click on investigate and hit roll for me, and let's see what happens. All right, so that gives us one success off of those 4 dice, but you also have a point in investigate. So if you go down and click on the bonus dice and roll that 1 time, see if we can get a second success here.
I thought I did that already.
Oh, no, I didn't want you to do the, not add one in, but actually clicking on the bonus dice button down on the bottom on our screen, as opposed to adding one in the field. Yeah, the character sheet roller is a little goofy.
I can just type one in chat.
Yeah. Do you have
Okay.
the little, if you look at your Roll20 sheet, do you see the bonus dice in the bottom left-hand corner?
No, I'm seeing experience down there.
No. On the actual, not on your character sheet, on the screen where there's all of our portraits and stuff.
Nope.
Okay. Well, then just type /roll 1d6. All right, that's a 3, which isn't a success. So you still got your 1,
Okay.
and that's awesome because 1 is all you need most of the time, and especially in these first few scenes. So, yeah, you're looking around, and sure enough, you find what certainly look to you like what would be dinosaur tracks. It's probably one of the bigger breeds of the dino clones.
Hey, Erasmus, you should come over here. I think I found something.
Naruto runs over.
Oh, goodness.
Nice.
Oh, is that what they look like? I've only seen a few of them, but that's big.
I mean, that looks like a dino clone foot, right? I mean, it's got 3 little toes, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think we should follow it.
Some.
All right, yeah, you guys. So the two of you head deeper into the woods to follow some dino clone footprints. So now I want to bounce back over to the hideout where the three of everybody else is for the other side, the other half of this scene that's going on. So the three of you are all hanging out in the hideout. So let's just open it up there. What are the three of you working on or doing, or what do we see when the camera cuts to the three of you? What's going on?
I was kind of worried that Tiffany's plants are gonna dry out if we're not able to get over here and water them every day. So I really think we should build a kind of a rainwater irrigation system. I found some tubing that we can run too. If there's some kind of bucket we can set up there and attach it and get it on sort of just a drip system to distribute to the plants.
Oh yeah,
I love it. Okay, Tiffany, if that's okay.
Yeah, I highly support this, and I'm like smiling and nodding, but don't actually understand a single technical word that Noah has said, but I am completely on board.
Most of the technical words he said are inaccurate. In general, most
Tiffany's not going to know. Tiffany is hanging on every word.
Yeah, no, I mean, no role needed whatsoever. You find some PVC piping and old funnel, like whatever you find, it absolutely works. And this is something that I think is kind of fun to do. Enid, as you're watching them construct this, and oh help, and I need that samaflange, blah 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 blah. You tell me how the two of them construct this drip irrigation system.
I think that I think Noah's like trying to. I notice he's like trying to like act as if he kind of knows what he's doing, and Tiffany is, I think, probably like finicking with her plans a little bit, and they're both kind of like trying to work together, like awkwardly, like maneuver, whatever system that Noah has set up. And in the meantime, I'm just like, I've got like, I'm in front of the small little fridge, and I want to kind of like maneuver it. And I notice it's because it's kind of like cold down here. So I'm gonna try to maneuver it because I can feel some heat coming off from the back of the fridge. So I'm gonna like maneuver it like and try to make it into like a little space heater.
You're turning the refrigerator into a space heater. I love it. I absolutely love that. That is really cool. Why not? I think dice are fun. Let's see. Oh, you're not messing with it. You're just moving it so you can like put your feet up next to it.
I'm doing something. I just want to like make it seem like I'm doing something active while the two of them are like trying to mess with this irrigation system that they're trying to finagle. So I'm not like awkwardly like just standing in the room.
Nice.
It definitely takes longer than it should to put this together because there's a lot of like, looking the other way, and my hand accidentally touches hers. And
we're very smart, but we're also very stupid sometimes, and this is a moment when we're very stupid.
No, yeah, that's great. It takes you about 20 minutes to put this together. There's duct tape, there's hot glue, there's PVC piping, there's like the wavy noodly dryer vent arms. A lot of these things are absolutely fantastic. At the end of the 20 minutes, Enid's feet are a little bit warmer. Noah, like you're sweating, and you cut your thumb just a little bit, but like you're gonna totally be fine. And the three of you sort of step back and look at this new thing that you've built, and just to see if something gets noticed or not. There's no conditions on the board for this at all. Tiffany, just make a tech. Roll a straight up tech for me. That is no successes. That is completely.
This is very Tiffany.
Yeah, so you're looking at it and you are super impressed with everything that you did. In the meantime, Noah and Enid, you both sort of like notice at the same time, both of you look at where the plants are, and because you had to move the plants around and you did all this, and you look at that, and then you look at the roof of this abandoned building, because you've made it nice, but it is an abandoned building. And the both of you at the same time realize where most of her plants were is where the roof leaks. And you're like, oh, right, that's why she put those there to begin with. But hey, you build a totally rad irrigation system, absolutely.
Now we can just get more plants. I don't see a downside to this. More plants.
Yep. More plants is absolutely fantastic. And it's at that point that the three of you sort of like if you've ever been standing around when a train is coming, you sort of can feel it in your feet and all that kind of stuff. And you feel sort of a rumbly sensation, which you've never felt while you guys were while you all were hanging out here before. And then you hear just this weird, low, sort of whistly scream roar sound. It is not a sound you've heard in the past. All three of you like jump and huddle a little bit closer when all of that's going on. And it lasts and then trails away, and the forest is absolutely silent.
What was that?
I'm not sure.
I've never heard anything like that out here.
Is there like a train out here or something? And it's not quite like a train whistle, but
I think we'd know if they were putting in a new train. The town's so small.
Did it sound like it was coming from the loop?
can we tell if it was like general direction where it would have come from?
Tell me how you would like to try to figure that out. Yeah. Other than just outside, if you want something more specific,
Yeah.
tell me how you want to get specific. Yeah.
I want to kind of like just see like when it rumbled, if I could tell from which direction it was rumbling from, based off of like where I'm standing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Based off of where you are and just sort of trying to sort of figure it out, I would say just make a straight up mind check.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, there it is. You definitely so it is not coming from the direction of the loop at all. In fact, it seems to be coming from a little deeper into the forest, which is a really wonderful time for us to go check in on Ren and Rasmus. Absolutely. What I'm going to go ahead and do is say that when we cut back to the both of you, you're sneaking along, or well, I don't know if you're sneaking or if you're just sort of walking along, but you're following the tracks, and this rumbly, screamy whistle roar sound happens, and I'm gonna need the both of you to make at least a heart check. And if you have one of the skills that you think can help you here to be able to do a little bit better, tell me how you're going to use one of those other skills. But I will say that already scared is the condition that's on the line here if we fail.
Okay.
So if you're good with heart, just roll heart. If you've got a skill that you think works there, explain how you do it.
Could I potentially make a mind check under investigate, saying that like I'm more curious about whatever this was just naturally?
Yeah, when we get a little bit further in this scene, you can absolutely do that, but this is that lizard brain fight or flight right in this moment. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this one is it's how much does this scare you?
Gotcha.
Just a straight heart roll. Oh.
Just a straight up heart roll. Okay, there we go for Ren and Wilhelm. So the both of you will click scared on your character sheets. And that means that as we go forward until those get taken care of, you're going to subtract the last die that gets rolled whenever we do these moving forward. Yeah, this thing screams, roar, whistle. You're not sure what it is. You're convinced that the forest itself gets darker and colder, like the clouds just rolled in. This is definitely something that you saw when you were staying up too late last night watching one of Enid's old black and white hollow projections. Sure, black and white hollow projections, why not? Or it's green and white. It's green and white, like the old printer paper.
Yes.
And yeah, this, you're so scared that the only thing that you can think is, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
What do we do?
So does it sound like it's a really close sound, or maybe like a mile away?
Oh, it's definitely not a kilometer. No, this thing is, you don't know if it's right on top of you. Maybe it's hiding in the trees. It might have been in the trees or behind a tree. You're not sure, but it was such a weird sound and it was so loud. It has to be close.
Oh my gosh, Rasmus. What was that?
Oh no, I've never heard anything like that. You know, but I don't know if we should stick around to find out. Like, I mean, if you think we should, then maybe we should, and we can fight it. 'Cause, you know, I don't know. What do you think?
I think we should go check and make sure our friends are okay.
That's a good call. We got to protect them first. That's the ninja way. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the two of you just take off back to the hideout. And
trying
yeah,
to not act scared, but yeah, definitely like.
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah, you're running to keep up with Rasmus. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as the two of you run up, that's when the other three of you sort of come out of the guard shack. Yeah, and all five of you meet up, and you hear this bellow again. Just this loud rumbling. You feel it first, and then you hear it, and again it just trails off. Not like the thing's getting further away, but just that it's like running out of breath. Nice.
Do you guys happen to know what's going on?
Raz, are you okay? What was that? Did you see something?
I was muted, sorry. I don't know. There's something in the woods. We were looking for a dino, and I don't know.
You're okay though, right?
Yeah,
Nothing
I'm fine.
Feels...
I got both my arms. I'm good.
Okay.
You can tell he's not okay, but boy, brave face.
Do you think it's a dino? Did you find the dino?
No, we didn't find any, and the dino clones, they're really small, so I don't think it would be one of them.
Well, if they can clone small ones, they can probably clone big ones too, though, guys.
How big were the tracks?
Well, the tracks we were following, they were maybe like half the size of your palm.
Okay.
Look at my palm.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, Ren says they were about the size of her palm, and then like Rasmus holds his hands up that they were about like 12 inches.
No, I was trying to remember. Have I ever heard of them doing big dinos around here?
The fads of the dino clone pets was only about 5 years ago, but you've seen cloned dinosaurs at the zoo in Oslo, and they're full-size dinosaurs.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. I want to pull out the pamphlet that I got from earlier over the break from the conspiracy theory pamphlet. And I'm just like, I'm going to quickly look through and try to see if there's anything in there about large dinos or anything that was like anything that could have been like indicating that there was something in the forest?
Sure. I mean, all of you all know the rumors of sort of strange mutant animals that are in the forest, not the dino clone type things. When Noah and Ren found the like clutch of little dino clones, that's like finding a bunch of like wild cats or something like that. Like they're definitely tabby cats, but they're just wild now. But yeah, there's been rumors. There's always been rumors, even when like your cousin was in high school 10 years ago, about werewolves and all kinds of weird monsters or something like that that are in the forest. And in fact, your hideout is sort of in the spot where it's like, no, we're cool, we're brave, we're adventurers, we're in the forest, but like on a in the fall when there's no leaves, you can still kind of see the road. You're not that deep in normally.
Guys, I don't think we should just stand outside. I think we should go back in the clubhouse.
Should we even just like go home? Is the clubhouse even safe? If they're big, I mean, I know the clubhouse is big, but
well, how close do you think it is?
It sounded big. And I remember hearing stories about Yeti in the woods.
There's no Yeti in the woods.
Yeti?
See, I'm looking between Noah and Ren, and like at first I was kind of starting to sidle back up to Noah because he's my bigger brother, but then he started talking about the Yeti, so then I kind of moved back, and I'm like,
yeah. Tiffany, make a no. Make an empathize check for me, please.
Cool. So to click, is that heart and then plus a bonus die since I have
yeah,
empathize?
how many points do you have in empathize?
1.
So click on mind, and then click the bonus dice in the bottom left hand of the map screen once.
So mind.
So there's none of the successes that are in that one. Now this is a good time to mention that if you want to push this, if it's important to you to figure out whatever this empathy is I'm asking for, which I know you don't know the details yet, you can tell me you're going to risk getting a condition in order to re-roll everything.
Oh, heck
or
yeah.
you can just, or you
Let's
can
do
let
that.
it stand.
Yeah.
Okay. Then tell me what condition is it that you're going to risk? Tell me what's going to happen if you fail.
Scared probably makes the most sense. That I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Things are really unsure. That was a big scary noise, and I think if I would fail again, that would confirm that my footing is not too sure, and I don't really know what I'm dealing with.
All right,
so.
that works. So yeah, so you can push this, and there's one success. You still get the other one. That there's 0, but you got your success, so you do not take the condition.
Yay.
So yeah, off of this, like you can tell that Razimus is like he keeps kind of glancing at y'all's bikes and glancing towards the roads, and like he's standing really close to his brother, but then when his brother says something about Yetis, like he moves away from there. And you can even tell that Ren, who's normally very, very cool under every situation, like her leather jacket, like she's got it zipped up and her hands are in her jacket pockets, like in a very protective thing. Whatever this was, you knew that it was from, you could tell it was from the woods, and you're putting together that they were out in the woods as well.
I'm gonna muster up all of my debate team persuasiveness and say, guys, and I'm gonna take a step closer to Rasmus to try and, a little comfort and solidarity. I think we should head back to the road because it's getting late. That sounded really bad, and I think we'd be safer not in a little tin guardhouse. Also, school is starting again, and we might get in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
As
That's it.
Yeah,
long
that
as we
makes
go
sense.
together, let's do it.
Perfect.
Oh, and I'll go out first if I'm like faking leadership. I'm like half faking it, but digging deep because I do have that leadership skill in me. But it's like a little put on. It's a little faking it till I'm making it. But yeah, I'll go out first and try to imbue the party with the confidence that we can get to our bikes and we can get back to the road safely.
Absolutely. Yeah, you all get to your bikes and you sort of making very good time getting out of the woods, and you get back to the road. You know, and normally, just because the three of you are a little bit older, normally the three of Tiffany and Noah and Rin tend to be out front. But yeah, like Rasmus is the bike that's out front the most. Like he is pedaling like the wind. He's Naruto pedaling, which isn't safe. You're all able to do that.
I think at the walk out, as we go over to the bikes, I'll kind of put a hand on Raz, sort of pushing him along, but also just sort of feeling to make sure he's not walking funny or anything. You know, make sure he's not hurt or injured.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's physically anything. He's scared. Like it was a scary moment.
I think I would probably take up the rear, and I'm just gonna like be a little bit slower than everybody else, looking back, just trying to see if I discern anything or see anything moving through the woods. I think, you know, my personality is I kind of want to solve some mysteries, and this is a big mystery that's kind of thrown on our lap.
Tell you what, just for fun, the last roll of the scene, understand what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's make this a mind check. And if it's really important to you to try to see if you can figure something out or see something or whatever it is that's going on, I'm gonna put upset as the condition on the board for you.
Okay.
But go ahead, and it's at least the mind. But if you can describe it in enough detail that it sounds like something a skill to me, I'll let you add that in. So describe exactly what it is, other than just looking back at the forest that you're doing.
So I'm holding back a little bit with the rest of the group, and I've kind of started. They've all left, and they're pedaling away, and I've kind of like, I'm on my bike, but I'm looking around, and I know I sensed where that rumbling came from earlier, and I know it came from the forest, and Ren and Rasmus confirmed that, and I want to see like if it were like some of the ideas that were brought up was that like maybe it was a large dinosaur of some sort. Like, would I have known? Like, maybe I'm trying to discern if that could have been a large dinosaur, if it was something else. And so I want to try to see maybe if there's like any signs, quickly scanning our hideout to see if there's anything that might indicate that.
All right. Yeah. So
I could use like investigate.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. So go ahead and roll mind, and let's see how that goes, and then we'll add some dice for investigate. So there's one success that's there. How many points do you have in investigate?
3.
So yeah, find that in the bottom left hand of there. Click that 3 times. There's 1. It's 2 successes. Okay, so you got 2 successes on this. So not only, what I can tell you for sure is that you're looking around, you're looking at the treetops, you're looking through the trees, you're doing everything you can. As far as like an actual life-size dinosaur like the ones that they have in the zoo, that's not what this is. You're positive.
So I can deduce that's definitely not what's going on here. Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely what you're able to figure out that's there. What You also get, because you got 2 successes off of this, which is an incredibly difficult thing. In the system, normally you only ever need 1. 2 means it's really incredible. 3 means it was almost impossible. So you got 2. You start to put together that maybe the reason the rumbling happened is that what if it wasn't running around in the forest? What if it was underground? That's what you're able to sort of put together. So,
yeah, satisfied, and then I will follow the rest of the group.
Yeah, everybody's sort of on their bikes on the ride home, and that's sort of where we'll fade to black and end out that scene that's going there. We'll do a real quick. We're going to do a real quick sort of individual scenes here as everybody gets home. I say real quick, don't feel like you have to rush any storytellings or anything like that. But since it's these one-on-one scenes, they tend to be a little bit shorter. But why don't we go ahead and we'll fade to black on all of you, scared or concerned but not scared but figuring it out. As we fade to black on that one, let's go ahead and fade up on Rin. Let's say that you are at home. Your parents are at counseling. They're at their marriage counseling, so they're not home, but they left 20. Oh, I have to look this. I'm looking this up on my phone. Yes, I'm live looking something up on my phone. What is the currency of Sweden called? It is the krona. Your parents left like 20 krona on the table so that you can order a pizza from the one pizza place in town. But yeah, you're home. And we're going to let this be your scene. Now, you have a condition, so if you've got a way to try to incorporate your anchor somehow, if you can find a way to make that make sense, we can do that. Or if there's a way that you can try to incorporate one of your friends to help you feel better about what happened, we can let the scene focus on that, and you'll be able to get rid of your condition. Okay.
Well, first thing I do when I get home for sure is lock the door, make sure all of the windows are locked.
Yeah.
Like, they should be locked, but I'm freaked out and I need to make sure. And then I probably am I'm home alone and I have no idea what to do. So I think I'm going to call someone.
Okay. Yeah, you go over to the phone that is on the wall that you have to pick up and stay within 5 feet because there's a cord. I have to explain these things these days. Yeah, who do you call?
Tiffany seemed like she was really confident, and at least when we were biking back home, I was sticking close to her because it's like, okay, she seems to not be afraid, at least. So I'm gonna call her.
Okay, yeah, Tiffany, you are in your room after whatever your scene's going to end up being. But
I got a phone in my room because
your see-through transparent plastic phone that lights up that you can see the inside of. That starts ringing.
Yep, and I'm painting my nails, trying to calm down from everything that's happened before, and delicately pick up my phone. Hello?
Hey, it's Ren.
Oh, did you get home safely?
Yeah, I'm home, but I'm just still a bit nervous. I'm home alone right now and don't know if you've heard any noises still, or...
I think it's all quiet here in town.
Okay.
So we're gonna be okay. We're in town. Whatever it was in the woods, and we'll figure it out, but we can figure it out better from here.
Gosh, and we have school tomorrow, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We're not in the woods. And it was in the woods, and it's probably still in the woods.
And it'll be better in daylight too.
Nice.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, that you at the end of your phone call, the pizza gets there in under 30 minutes, so you have to tip him. That was the thing back in the day. Yeah, you get, what kind of pizza did you order?
Probably got a Meat Lovers.
All right, absolutely fantastic. I love it. So yeah, you ordered Meat Lovers, which you know your mom hates, so there's going to be more leftovers.
Yeah.
You got to Meat Lovers. You feel much better, and you can take off your condition because your friend helped you out. Your anchor and one of your friends, if you spend a scene with them, that's one way we can get rid of conditions. And so you're sort of hanging out, and you're laying in bed. Your parents are always home. You're always asleep before they come home. And even though you're still upset, you're feeling a lot better. And like you do most nights, you're playing the radio. You're listening to the radio, listening to music as you fall out, you drift off to sleep. And right before you drift off to sleep, you hear sort of the local news report that comes on, the local news break that always happens. There's only one station that plays rock and roll music, so you always just sort of sit through it. Yeah. And it tells you about the weather, and it looks like that it's supposed to be cloudy and a chance of rain. For the next 3 days, expect it to be cloudy and cold, with a 30% chance of rain on Monday, only getting more likely as the week goes. In more unfortunate news, the search continues for the missing 6-year-old Sven Jakobsen. Parents reported him missing a number of days ago and has not been found. As a result, except for in any official business, all children under the age of 18 must adhere to a 9 o'clock curfew starting Monday. That's sort of the last thing that you hear before you drift off to sleep. All right. Well, seeing as we just heard from Tiffany, let's say whatever it was that was going on when you got home. You had just walked in your door when the phone rang. So walk me through what it is that happened. You park your hoverbike, your new hoverbike, or recently upgraded hoverbike that Noah upgraded for you outside, and you come through the front door. And what are things like for that 30 minutes or so between coming home, dinner, and answering the phone?
I see if my dad's around, or maybe see if my Aunt Alma is around, and check how they've been doing, try and act as normal as I possibly can, because I'm supposed to be a well-behaved girl and not running around in the woods. So yeah, probably just checking on my dad, seeing how he's doing.
Yeah, your dad and your aunt are watching a movie. They're watching Journey to the Center of the Earth. They're at the part where the giant claymation dinosaurs are. So that's a little weird.
Irony.
But yeah, they ask you how your day was. Are you excited or are you excited to get back? Do you have any new classes? Your dad, you see your dad sort of like suddenly become very interested in his fingernails. He says, I know that dancey dance thing is in a couple of weeks. Newsletter. So
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna make some popcorn.
Yeah,
and
thanks, Dad.
But yeah, and then you get in. Do you eat dinner with the folks, or does the movie freak you out and do you take your dinner up to your room?
I think I'll eat dinner with my folks, but while my dad has vacated the room, my Aunt Alma is a little more open-minded, and so while my dad is gone, I'm gonna shift the conversation and say, Aunt Alma, do you believe in Yeti?
Is that the one in America that doesn't know how to take a bath, or is that the one from the mountains who's always got the dandruff?
I think that's the one from the mountains, but they might be cousins with the one in America. It likes
makes sense.
snow. Yeah?
Yeah. You know, whenever I was, let's see, I had just gotten out of university and I went with this very lovely man. His name was Ricardo, and he was an exchange student. And we were in the Alps for a very long weekend, and we had such a fun time. We would ski.
Ski, yeah.
I'm gonna help your dad with the popcorn.
Thanks.
She turns bright red.
So just sit here, convinced that my dad and my aunt will not talk to me about either Yeti or romance, and I'm just gonna have to figure out both on my own.
The plight of every teenager. Alrighty. Well, let's do a 2-for-1. Let's say that we, two of you tend to eat dinner a little bit later. Sometimes your dad forgets to make dinner. But you get home and your dad is in the barn. There's one of the milker has kind of been on the fritz. And so he's working on that when the two of you get home. So Noah and Raz, what do you want to do? We'll play this scene simultaneously, and then Raz, if you want to lean on your anchor or on one of the group to try to make your half of the scene focus on your condition, we can do that to try to get rid of your condition.
I want to ask John the player, does Noah like before bed, like tinker in his room? Is there like, or what is Noah doing when he gets home? Because Raz is going to be watching.
I think if Dad's trying to fix something in the barn, go in there and take a look, because I'm the one who fixes most of that, and I don't want him screwing anything up.
Yeah, your dad, who's doing this for 30 years, is definitely going to mess it up. That's I love it. Yeah, you guys ride up on your bikes. Yeah, you head towards the barn. I know that your grandparents are important to you, Rasmus. Do your grandparents live on the farm with everybody, or do they live in a different town?
I think they would probably live with us, Noah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Or at least maybe adjacent, like one house over, maybe?
I love it. Yeah, let's say that there's like a mother-in-law suite that your dad built. Your mom and your dad built. It was one of the last things that they did together. They finished off the top of the barn. So yeah, actually the top of the barn has its own little one-bedroom apartment type thing where your grandparents live.
So yeah, I'll go out there and I'll bring my little my anime anthology cube that I have, and I will walk over and I'll like start to sit down with Noah and Dad, but then I'll see that they're just talking shop and doing that. So then I'll walk up the steps and go sit with Grandma in her living room and just kind of flipping through episodes, looking for bits I want to watch or rewatch.
Let me know if Grandma made dinner or anything. I kind of glare at Dad.
Okay, I'll tell her you said hi as I walk up the stairs.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, we'll deal with Noah and your dad real quick. So yeah, your dad's he's working on the like auto milker thing. The cows sort of walk up, and these arms sort of on their own snake out and reach under and will milk the thing. And one of the arms has just been acting a little goofy.
Is it the servos again, or is it the programming this time?
Yeah, you see that he's got like this old, like a box that you flip open, and it's got a little computer and a keyboard in it, and yeah, it's one of the arms is taken apart, and he says, well, the programming says that it doesn't know when it's attached or not, and so that's what I've been working on there, and all of the different servos in the arm are completely dried up because the lubricant and the oil wasn't applied on it last weekend. So, yeah.
Well, if the programming said it doesn't know if it's attached, did you check the sensors?
He pokes one of the sensor ends, and you see it light up and then turn off, and light up and then turn off.
I'll get the grease.
Okay. Yeah, so then Rasmus, you're upstairs. Is your anchor your grandmother or your grandfather? I can't remember. Grandmother. Okay, yeah, so your grandmother, your grandpa is watching a soccer game. Like, it's an old soccer game that he recorded, I guess, and all of that kind of stuff. But he's still like getting upset whenever the thing that he's watched 40 times happens. But yeah, you come in, and your grandmother smiles and like walks over and takes a plate of it looks like chicken and green beans and stuff like that, and puts it into the microwave and says, "Oh, hello. How was your day, Wilhelm? What were you and your brothers up to?"
Oh, Grandma, we were just hanging out in the woods, and I was like doing my training, all kind of stuff. But
oh yeah, the training's so important for the
yeah, you get it. Yeah, there was, I don't know though. I heard something in the woods though. It's kind of scary. I didn't see it, and like we came straight home. Like we were super safe, but like I don't know. It sounded real scary.
Well, if you're hearing things that are out in the woods, but you can't see them, she like looks around, makes sure that your grandpa's not listening, and sits down at the table and waves you over. Sounds to me like a rival ninja clan. And she gets up and gets your stuff out of the microwave, and everything on the middle of the plate is still cold, and everything on the outside of the plate is lava.
That's fair. I gotta train my mouth too. So, and I'll let her know, because yeah, my mind's blown. I'm just like, oh my God, like the food just gets sat down, my expression doesn't change. But then as soon as I do come back to, I'm just like, oh, and Noah is wondering if he could have some dinner too, because I don't think Dad did it again.
Yeah, she's like halfway into her really comfortable chair, and then you see her like bounce a little to get some momentum, and then goes and gets back up and opens the ice box and takes out a second plate and takes the tin foil off of it and puts that into the microwave.
I'll run it down to him. Just thank you, though.
Yeah. And that, yeah, you definitely, now that you realize that it was clearly a rival ninja clan with their powers of misdirection and mystical ways, you feel a little, like you're still freaked out that there's a ninja clan in the woods, but you feel a little bit better, and that'll deal with your, plus the chicken's really good even though it is cold, so that'll take care of scared for us.
Awesome.
All right, so that takes us over to Enid. Enid, you show up. Everyone is clearly 10 minutes already into dinner. Your mom and your dad are at the table. Your aunt and uncle, two of your cousins, and it looks like. And do you have siblings?
No.
No siblings. Okay, so then 3 cousins are there, and it looks like Jurgen, your eldest cousin, has taken the corn on the cob off of your plate and put his eaten one on your plate, and is eating part of your dinner by the time that you come in. The room gets louder when you come in and people sort of make eye contact, but there's 7 conversations that are going on and someone sort of just pulls your chair out for you.
I walk in and I'm just gonna look at my plate and look at the rest of my family, and they're all kind of they're having little side conversations, but they're all kind of also noticing me. I'm gonna grab a roll and I'm gonna turn around and walk into the study and completely bypass all of my family members, and I'm gonna go into the library and I'm gonna look for a book on like the town history, or like something that might have maps about how the town was built, anything that might indicate like that I can find any more information on what I found out or what I'm deducing.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so, and I don't know if anybody else has like noticed that I've left, but I'm kind of just ignoring everyone else kind of talking, and I'm like,
yeah, great. Yeah, you take your roll and you walk into, and it's like around the corner a little bit of the entryway to the house, but it's not necessarily in its own little room. You definitely hear Jurgen, your cousin, like as you go in the room, like with a mouthful, he's like, "So, can I have your meatloaf?"
I roll my
and
eyes.
Then you hear the sound of a fork scraping something off of a plate. And yeah, you're sort of in the den study area for a little bit, and you got a bunch of books out. Like, unfortunately, there's a bunch of like yearbooks from your cousins, and there's 7 old yellow pages. There's a couple of things. You've got like an Encyclopedia Britannica collection that's missing 4 letters. But there's some like old newspapers that have been piling up. So there's some stuff that you can flip through. It doesn't look like you're getting too much like town history just here at home. Whenever your uncle Stellan pops his head. Yeah, Stellan pops his head around the corner, and like he's holding onto the corner of the wall, and he says, "Knock, knock, little guy." So, is this the "I hate my family" part of preteens where we don't eat with anybody anymore?
Well, Jurgen's a butt. I'm sorry.
Well,
you can have
Jurgen is my son, and as his father, I have to agree that he is quite a bit of a butt. Yes, that's.
I smile and kind of look down. And, hey, Uncle Stellan.
What you got, champ?
Do you know anything about the town history, or like if there was anything that was like built underground underneath the town?
Well, I do. Well, the loop is mostly underground, but I have a feeling that's not what you're talking about. Unless it is. Yeah, 80% of the loop is all underground.
Maybe that's... Yeah, I don't know. We heard something weird out in the forest. I'm just trying to figure out what that was.
Oh, spending time out in the forest, huh? With... Tiffany, or maybe with Rasmus. Well, whoever you like to spend your time with, we support you and we love you and we think it's just the cutest thing ever.
But they're just my friends.
And he like winks and walks out of the room.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking through my book, but I'm gonna look over to I've got like little like radios. Like the Olsens are my my neighbors on the other
Yeah.
side. And so I'm going to go over to the window and just look at the radio. And then I'm going to look outside and look at my neighbor on the other side, the one that's next door. That's like, I've been kind of watching the last several nights because like he's been doing weird things and it's nighttime. And so it's like about time that like something odd's happening. I just want to keep my mind off of like whatever's happening in the dining room.
Yeah. So the dining room is like dinner's wrapping up and people are like doing dishes and stuff like that. So that's going on. Yeah, you're in like, so you were in the den family room. So then you go into the living room, and you're there, and nobody uses the living room nearly as much. And so you're there, and yeah, you see the light in the attic flicks on, which it usually does just about this time. And yeah, there's your next door neighbor. Not like that much, not that old of a guy, you know, an adult. Stefan. And just as normal, like you see him and it just looks like he's walking around in circles in his attic like he has been, and then he stops every once in a while and like looks like he leans down because he's looking at something, and then he stands back up and he tries to get a better angle at whatever it is that he's looking at in his attic, and then he goes back to just walking circles like he's doing laps in his attic, and he does that for about 45 minutes, and then he turns. He has a little hat that he wears. He takes his hat off. He puts it on when he comes in. He takes it off when he leaves, and turns the light back off.
I'm gonna like scrawl in my notepad, like that's sitting right by the windowsill because I've been like keeping track, and so I'm gonna write 7:45 neighbor, and I put N for neighbor. Went up to attic. 3 times put hat on and off, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Cool. Fantastic. So yeah, as we sort of wind down everything that's going on, while you're working with your dad on the milker that's going on, the radio's playing, and it's just sort of a local NPR type station, and Noah, you hear the same radio announcement about the weather, but then you hear the same announcement about Sven Jakobsen and the 9 o'clock curfew that's going on, and the football game, the soccer match that's going on, which earlier I said it was recorded, but it's not because that doesn't work for my narrative. The commercial comes on, the local news anchor upstairs, and says the same thing for Raz while you're upstairs. So you hear this, and actually you sort of remember seeing something about it in a newspaper as well, and it clicks through you. And all of that's going on. Tiffany, eventually your dad does come back in and kind of pats the couch next to you, and says, "Hey Tiff, why don't you come over here? There is actually something I want to talk to you about."
Okay.
And you'd come down for like a glass of water or something. He says, I'm sorry if I made you feel a little silly a while ago. I'm just concerned. I know the school's not the biggest in the world, but you probably didn't know that Jakobsen boy, did you? And you can decide whether or not you know who he's talking about or not. It's a 6-year-old.
Yeah, I think probably by like name, just because it's a small town, but just kind of by name.
Okay, yeah. And he says his parents called the sheriff. They haven't seen him in the last 3 days, and the sheriff's office decided that there's going to be a curfew till they figure out what's going on. So just I know that you and your friends take care of each other, and you've got that whatever out off of the highway, but it's not a highway. But I just make sure that you're home by 8:30 for me. All right?
Okay, I'll make sure, Dad.
All right. And so that goes on. And then as you're writing in your notes, Enid, similarly, your mom comes in and sort of walks over and looks at the thing and looks at what you're writing.
I shut my notebook. Hey, Mom.
Can you just, please, if he were to be home by 7. Be home by 7 for the rest of this week, okay?
By 7?
7.
I'm
It's an hour earlier.
I'm 13 now, Mom. I can stay out a little later, I think.
Okay, well, you can either be home by 7 or you can be 13 and you can be home by 1300 and your curfew is 1 in the afternoon. So which one would you like, Mr. I'm 13?
I'll be home by 7.
Thank you, dear. And she kisses you on the head. And as she walks out, she says, help your uncle with the dishes.
I didn't even use any of those dishes. But fine.
All right. So that closes all of the rest of us out. We're going to go ahead and open up the next day. So you all get to school. All of you are close enough in age that you sort of have homeroom together. You don't have homeroom with any of the children that would be like as young as Sven or anything like that. But you all have a homeroom together for about 30 minutes every morning and for another 30 minutes whenever you're done at the end of the day before you go off to all of your other classes. I believe that all of you have at least one class together. Enid and Rasmus have a handful of classes together because you're closer in age. The other 3 have most of your classes because you're closer than age. And Tiffany and Enid, you have... Enid and Ren have chemistry together. Enid and Tiffany, what's the class that the 2 of you have together?
History?
History, yeah.
Let's go with history.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You both have history together. So you guys all go sort of about... it feels pretty much like a normal day. You're just home after break. In the morning, during homeroom, you are all over the announcer, over the speaker, over the classroom speakers. You hear Rector Hackinson. He is sort of the equivalent of the principal, who comes on and says to all of you, all right, hello and good morning, Gunderskolan children. I'm happy to have all of you back. As many of you are aware, there is the sheriff's the sheriff was parked outside this morning. He'll be coming around to some of your classrooms to speak with a handful of you. But remember that there's nothing to worry about, and we just want to make sure everyone is doing all right. The winter dance is in 2 weeks, and we still have a decorating committee that needs volunteers. I'm sure that there are a number of you who will step up and show your school spirit. And for those of you that are looking at university, a wonderful opportunity to have volunteer hours as you begin to apply. The gym has to get decorated somehow. If anybody would like to help to volunteer Nurse Astrid her time, she has a special project that a number of you may be able to help with. But other than that, welcome back. We have just a few months left before the end of the school year. All right. Have a lovely day, and I will talk to you all again tomorrow. Okay. Miriam, which button is this that I... Oh, there. So the announcement goes off. You all have homeroom and then your normal classes, and you all do have the same lunch period. So the 5 of you find yourselves at lunch. It is a much more healthy and delicious and wonderful school lunch than what any of us from America had when we were in high school. So just imagine like fancy HelloFresh dinner, but in middle school. And you find yourselves all at a table at lunchtime.
You guys hear about the sheriff's coming into the school? What before? What do you think he's gonna ask about? You don't think he's gonna ask about like kids being too close to the facility out there? You don't think they found our clubhouse, did you? Do you?
Did you hear the radio last night? Apparently there's a kid that's been missing for several days. He's like 5 or 6 years old.
The Jakobsen
Probably
kid.
asking about him, yeah. Sven.
Yeah, Sven.
I didn't know him.
Oh,
I didn't really know him.
that's why my mom told me to be home by 7.
7.
Yeah, I
Got
told her
8:30.
I'm 13 and I could stay out later, but I gotta go home.
No,
So-
we're almost
Parents.
adults. It's not fair. Why don't they treat us like adults? We're responsible.
I get to stay out as long as Noah's out. It's a pretty good deal.
It's not like our dad knows.
Well, you're lucky. My parents are always on top of me and they're always telling me to do things and they never leave me alone.
Well, at least they give a crap.
I
Sorry,
could sense this build up, so I pull out my notebook and I'm like, look, I drew Rector Henderson, but I called him Rectum. Ha!
That's good. You should Rectum. I thought you hardly knew him.
Oh my god! Wait, why is that funny? Oh, 'cause she said a butt joke. I get it.
So, I want to tell you guys something. I stayed back a little bit when you were going on ahead, and I think that noise that we heard wasn't coming from the forest. I'm pretty sure it was coming like underground. And I don't think it was a dinosaur either, but I don't know.
So underground yetis. Underground yetis.
No, it's actually, and he's just shoveling food in his mouth. He's like, it's actually underground ninjas, probably. That's what Grandma said, and it makes sense. I should have known.
Honestly, if it's underground, it's got to be something with the loop. And that would explain why none of the adults want to talk to us about it.
Yeah, that's what my Uncle Stellan said.
That's true. I mean, we think we know where the loop is, but that doesn't mean there's not other parts. Like they don't have more bunkers or something dug out further.
It could be ninjas and or yeti from the loop.
Loop ninjas. Oh my god.
That would be a pretty good guard.
Wait.
But most of the guards don't seem like ninjas.
It wouldn't be good ninjas if you could tell they were ninjas.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this, and I pull up my anthology cube, and I'm like, you remember Noah? Look, and I pull open like a cyborg ninja anime, and it's on this cube, and you can see it. I'm like that. Remember from episode 13 of Scroll Ninja?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been studying for the placement tests like we talked about?
I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I don't think he gets how important it is.
Enid and I can sit down with him. We did great on ours.
Yeah.
We're not going to let Rasmus fail.
That would be so great. Tiffany, you're so thoughtful.
Well, you're thoughtful.
Anyway, yeah, I can give him some pointers. I have a whole notebook filled with all of the things I wrote down, like the types of questions that they ask, and we can definitely like steer them. And in fact, when I took my exam, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I knew exactly what I was going to get.
I'm sure that could help
That's
a lot.
a lot more than me.
He's a smart kid, but I don't think he realizes that ninja isn't exactly a placement option. And I don't think he's cut out for trades.
He just needs to hone his skills. He's still young. He's not quite an adult like the rest of us. There's time.
And I walk back up to the table. I'm like, guys, look what I found in the bathroom. There were glasses. I'm smart now.
And the bell rings.
Don't worry, bro. I got it.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, that's great. So the bell rings. The rest of the classes go pretty well. I mean, it's the first day back, and so everybody's kind of just talking about what did they do over the break and all of this kind of stuff. As you all get back to the homeroom for the end of the day, the nurse pops in, and she has just like a bunch of papers that she has, and she hands it, and she goes over and walks to this to the teacher, and they chat for a little bit, and then the teacher sort of says, "Okay, everybody, if you'll please just listen to Nurse Astrid for a moment. She has something that she wants to talk to all of you about." And the nurse says, yeah, hi, I hope everybody had just the best holiday break. I'm sure you were all great. Anyway, as many of you know, it is flu seasons, and so like every year over the next couple of days, we're going to have you coming in. We'll be calling you in by class year, alphabetically, by last name, to come in and get your flu vaccine. And like each year, I do need a few volunteers that want to help me as far as loading everything up and driving over to the larger laboratories and dropping everything off. So I do have a sign-up sheet if anybody would like to volunteer. I do believe that Mr. Bloomquist said that it would be worth some extra credit. Isn't that right, Mr. Bloomquist? Clearly they had not discussed that at all. And Mr. Bloomquist just says, of course, it'll be worth 5 points on your next test. She says, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll leave this sign-up sheet with Mr. Bloomquist for anybody that wants to sign up, and that would be absolutely great. Okay, great, thank you. And she walks off. And as soon as she's out, as soon as she is out, you hear there is sort of this sound from behind you, and you hear a kid behind you go, why is it that any one of us would want to be helping out the nurse when everybody can helping out themselves? And you turn around, and you recognize the voice right away. It is an 11-year-old. His name is Janosch. Janosch is kind of a tool. His parents are lawyers, and one of them is a lawyer that works for the Loop, and the other is a lawyer that works in Stockholm. And so they're quite well off. They have this huge house, and every once in a while, Janosch likes to throw these parties. And so he kind of says this, and the 5 of you turn around, and Janosch just leans forward and is like, or you 5 awesome dudes and dudettes can be at my place tonight. I just got the coolest new board game. Cost $100, but I'd been saving up my allowance. So unless you're totally lame, see you at my place, 6:30. We'll have pizza and board games and anything else you think you might like to have. And he kind of like looks at Enid and gives you finger guns.
I can't make
says-
a face and like.
And he's like, oh, and don't worry, my au pair will totally call your parents and say that you're there for a sleepover. It's absolutely fine. Make sure you come to the garage and go up the stairs on the side of the garage. Don't knock on the front door like last time, Tiffany. And he grabs his books up and starts to leave. And the teacher's like, excuse me, Yana. And then the bell rings. And he's like, class dismissed. So it's 3:30. It's 3:30. And you have 3 options before you. There is a decorating the gym this evening. That is a possibility, sponsored by the school. There is helping out the nurse. That is a possibility, sponsored by the school. And there's Janosch's party. Or anything else you decide to do instead.
Oh, I'm really torn because I've heard so much about that game. But he's talking about the Dark Tower one. It's like electronic, and I'm telling all these guys about it. It's like there's a whole computer in it, and it's like it's counting your turns out, and it keeps track of everything. It's almost like a video game. It's not like just like a board game. But in the back of my mind, for certain reasons, I really want to be involved in that vaccination thing. For reasons I don't want to talk about. So maybe I can help with that, and then we can go over to Yannick's afterwards.
I don't know.
I don't know,
Janosch
but
is kind of a
definitely-
jerk.
Yeah, the only reason why I would go over to his place is to beat him at his own game.
Can you play as a ninja in this game?
Probably not.
More like knights?
I am not interested.
He's also like 11. No offense, Rasmus, but it's kind of like that's like too young for cool people like us. Like that's an 11-year-old party.
I don't even like him.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I say we forget about Janosch.
Definitely getting my name on that sign up sheet though. Just right at the top.
Does that mean I have to come?
No, you don't have to. You guys can do something else. It's no problem.
It's like I said that as I was writing my name on the paper, and I'm
No,
just like, nah.
Really,
not.
you don't have. No, you don't have to. It's not going to be any fun. You don't have to. You should focus on your placement exams, and worry about this kind of stuff in a couple years. You don't need volunteer hours yet.
Please tell me you like scribbled my name out.
But it is worth extra credit on the next exam.
Is the next exam the exam?
Sure.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, bro.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Don't worry. It'll be. Wait, are we getting vaccinated? Is that part of the sign up?
We're helping with the setup.
Everybody gets their so socialized healthcare, and it's fantastic, and nobody gets the flu, so you all get your flu shot. This also happens every year, so all 5 of you have been through this. This is just another thing that you're like, oh god, this again.
I think I volunteer to help with it every year.
and the other choice was the
Dance committee.
the dance committee. Okay.
Yes,
Which I
there's a dance committee.
I think
But
I
what's
have
really
to.
so when you walk up there, there are the two different sign-up sheets, and one says Nurse Astrid, and then the other one does say Dance Committee. It is Monday, and underneath it, it says, please check preferred day, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, under both of them. So the way that it looks, as long as the majority of people that sign up all check different day, the same day, you could help the nurse tonight and do the dance party planning committee on Wednesday, or vice versa.
That sounds like a solid deal.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting in to help the nurse first thing.
I don't need the extra credit, but if it's gonna let us stay up a little bit later than 7 p.m., then I'm down for both.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. And I'm like staring at Noah though. Like it's clear that Tiffany is signing up because Noah signed up, and like
I don't know.
I'm just
It is not
kidding.
clear to him.
Nope.
I think we should just check out the lab, because I don't know why the nurse wouldn't send everything to the hospital to be processed. Like, why does it have to go to a lab?
Maybe it's secret blood.
That is a good question. I never want.
Oh, great. So apparently Rasmus picked up finger guns this afternoon. So what night do you sign? So there are different nights, I take it. What night do all of you coordinate so that it works out for you? What night do you sign up to help the nurse?
I think I'm definitely checking Monday on I'm definitely helping the nurse.
Okay.
Yeah, Monday works.
That works.
And what day do you check to sign up for the dance committee? You got Wednesday or Friday?
Wednesday.
All
Gotta
right.
keep Friday nights free and chill for all that 14-year-old partying.
Right.
All right. Yes. So you are all there, and remembering names, Mr. Bloomquist, V-I-S-T. Mr. Bloomquist comes up and he says, "Oh, well, that's absolutely fantastic, Mr. Olson. I knew that we could count on you like we do absolutely every year. Well, I'll get this over to the nurse, and I'll be right back with your permission slips and all of that kind of stuff, so that you don't have to worry about curfew. Just make sure that you take these home to your parents." And he leaves and he comes back about 5 minutes later, and yeah, he gives each one of you a slip that says, "I'm helping the school. I will be back around between 10 and 11 o'clock. And he's your homeroom teacher, so he knows that you'll be out late on a school night for tomorrow anyway.
So late.
That's good.
All right. Is there anything that you five would like to, as a group or as a smaller group, like maybe two smaller groups, would any of you like to request a specific scene on a theme or dealing with a person or anything like that to fill the time? You've got about 3 hours, 2.5 hours before you need to be back at the school to help the nurse.
I would like to have a scene with Ren.
Yeah, great. Absolutely. Is it going to, the two of you or everybody else there?
Well, kind of like the two of us kind of off to the side. I want to ask her something.
Yeah, that's perfect. So then Rin, we'll start with that scene then. Rin, what is it that you're doing whenever Enid walks up?
I am looking at the little pamphlet that I have from the conspiracy man in town.
All right, great. Yeah. So, Enid, you walk up and you realize that Rin has the same pamphlet that you found over the break, and it sort of clicks for you that you're like, oh right, she's had these things. I've seen her with these things a couple of times, but you never knew where she got them from or anything like that.
Hey,
Great.
you have one of those too.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
Well, this one I got by the library. They get put all around town different times of the year.
Oh, I was outside of the hardware store, and this guy was kind of like posting them up, and I went to go grab one.
Oh yeah, that's Murray.
Who?
Murray. He's the one that makes the little pamphlets. He just kind of wanders around town. I don't think he has a
Murray.
home. But he's a really nice guy. He knows a lot about government.
Yeah, some of the stuff that did he write all of this? Some of the stuff that he's written in here is really kind of out there. I mean, I don't know if it's like a lot of it is scientifically based, but interesting.
I don't know if he writes everything or if he gets some submissions, but I do know that he, is willing to talk and not try to dumb things down and act like we're little kids. So.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you notice that there's something weird happening between Tiffany and Noah? Like, it's a little awkward, right?
I don't know. I mean, haven't they always kind of been like that?
Oh, really? Maybe I just started noticing it. Over the break, I was just like watching some cult movies, some independent movies that the video clerk mentioned to me, and there was some stuff in there that that like was a little awkward, kind of like what Tiffany and Noah are doing, but it wasn't with like a man and a woman. It was with like a man and a man.
Oh.
And I don't know, that don't tell anyone, but that kind of like really piqued my interest.
Fair enough. Yeah, to go back to your original question, I mean, they've always been kind of awkward. I guess they've been maybe a little more recently.
Yeah.
But
okay, yeah, that's I don't know. These things are kind of really new to me, and I didn't really notice until we came back. And my parents and my uncles always asking me about you guys, and like, are they friends? And they still think I'm a little kid, I guess.
Who cares what your parents think? I mean, what do they know?
Well, my Uncle Stalin actually knows a lot. But yeah, those conversations with them are just kind of awkward. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to see, like, I wasn't the only one kind of noticing that sort of thing between them. So I think we're just gonna go back to
Yeah.
So you guys have your own awkward, quiet moment. You're like,
Yup.
well,
yeah, just like,
right.
well, we're gonna acknowledge this thing, and then
All right. Cool. Any other scene that anybody else wants to highlight or anything like that?
I think in a moment when no one else is around, you did talk to Wilhelm.
Oh, he's
My brother here.
real name. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, then, yeah. Let's say I'll do it the same way. Skylar, what is it that Rasmus is doing or working on or talking to or whatever? What's going on whenever there's a moment where Noah comes up to find you to either talk to you alone or pulls you away? What is Rasmus doing?
So let me run this by the group because I have an idea. Because we all had permission slips that we had to get signed before we went out tonight, right?
Mhm.
You got permission slips that are signed, and you have to get them home to your parents and then get back to school by 6:30.
Gotcha. So what I'm thinking is maybe we're doing that kid thing where we all ride our bikes and go as a group to each person's house, and whoever's home that is, they just drop it off. So these conversations happened intermittently as we're doing that, maybe. You know,
I
that
like-
streak the numbers
I
where
like
if the parents want to be like, I don't know, it's like, yeah, but look, they're all like right out there and they're waiting on me. Like,
I'll be
Peer
safe. I'm
pressure.
with my friends.
Holding them
I
up.
like it
Log
so
on.
much. It's what I was going to introduce with whoever didn't have a scene. But no, it's fine. It's cool. It's fine. What do you guys do? No, I love it. It's a great idea. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where it's
I'd say probably when we get to Tiffany's house when she's not there anymore.
Tiffany, actually, when you ride up for all of this, and you'd actually been having you all been doing a good time and riding your bikes and weaving in and out, and you see your mom's gold Fiero that she had shipped over from the United States.
Yep.
With the with a settlement cache, and you see your mom's car in the driveway, and so you kind of are a little defeated, and Ren and Eden could tell, so they're gonna go in with you to be like, no, you don't understand, Mrs. Hornquist. We all are in this, and it's absolutely fine. And so they're gonna
Parents
go in
can't
with you.
argue in front of your friends. It's the unwritten rule.
Yep,
Exactly.
absolutely. So then, that leaves Noah and Wilhelm outside waiting.
Now, don't forget, just like last year, you don't need to get the vaccine with your ninja immunity. But remember, you can't tell anyone, or they'll know about your ninja secrets. So if anybody asks, remember, just say like, yeah, you got yours.
okay, I could do that. I always thought it'd be cool to get one because then I could like test my resolve as a ninja, like be like, stab me. But that's fine. I don't have to.
We can find other ways to test your ninja strength. Just remember, it's our little secret. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Will you stab me sometime?
Maybe when you're older.
Okay.
All right. We don't want her tussle.
Will you stab me sometime, maybe when you're older? That's awesome. That's fantastic. And right as that happens, sure enough, you come out and it actually was a lot easier. Your mom was just sort of like a little bit of one-upsmanship and was just kind of like, well, I think that it's so fantastic. You're being so responsible. Why would I ever not want you to da-da-da-da-da? Either you play into it. Do you play into it and take her side and da-da-da? Or do you just sort of roll your eyes at it and be like, whatever?
Not in front of my friends. I think family stuff in front of my friends is we're going to get in and out. So we're going to go, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. I'm going to go to my friend's house to make sure we're all together still, and I'll be back before curfew. I love you. And I'm zoom out to just come on, don't look at them.
All right, yeah, absolutely. No, that is fantastic. So you manage to get to everybody's houses. Everyone turns their permission slips in. For the most part, it's not too big of a deal. Enid, your folks, they're not fussing at you about it or anything like that. It takes you all longer at your house because your mom is immediately has baggies with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that she's making 10 of them. And it's like, no, you can't leave yet. And then
go.
Yep, and
we don't need this many sandwiches.
Your cousin comes out and sees one of your cousin comes out and sees Tiffany and then like leaves and then comes back and has like 15-pound dumbbells and is like, oh, I just gotta get my workout in.
God, I feel
your uncle keeps trying to talk about this really old band called the Rolling Stones with Ren. So like your place takes 20 minutes. Whereas you guys finally get done there. It takes you 20 minutes there. You get over to Noah and Rasmus's place, and his dad is like, oh, I'm really glad to see that you guys are showing some initiative, and extra credit's always great. All right, do you need anything?
No, we do this every year.
Okay, well, have fun. And like it takes 4 minutes. And to like Ren and Tiffany, Mr. Olsen is just like really cool. He treats both of them like adults and doesn't breathe down their neck. Like that is your takeaway. That's the way that you always think about their dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you ride your bike back to the school, which is a wonderful time for us to take a quick break. I just want to say there is some amazing conversations going on over in the chat. I know Azeroth has so many questions about what it is that's going on. And I had no idea how you spelled au pair, so I'm glad that somebody finally spelled it out for me. So thank you very much. We are going to be back in about 15 minutes. Jonathan, do we have any Mercs messages that we want to say before we head out?
I think that we covered most of it. It will be a little message in the break reel, but you know.
All right,
15 minutes.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us. We're going to be back in 15 minutes. Continue. I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen at all while they all break curfew.
No.
Oh, I'm just for our regular viewers. You'll notice this game is a little longer than usual. We usually do about 3 hours. This is a 4-hour game. It's a lot more narrative. There's a lot more scenes to cover. So just so you're not caught off guard by the timing of the break and all that.
All righty. We'll see everybody when we come back.
Or not. If XSplit wants to cooperate, that'll be real fantastic.
Button. Who's got the button?
Any day now, software.
Now that we're audio clear, whenever the dinosaur eats all of you,
stop. Wait,
make sure
you
that
can't tell them. They'll know. They'll know. You're ruining the whole. Yeah.
Just like we did in rehearsal.
Yeah, that rehearsal.
XSplit decided to freeze up, and I don't know how to fix this one except for to kill the program. So we might go offline for a second here. Nobody panic.
We don't have the rights to play copyrighted 80s music, but I'm going to dance, and all of you at home, just play your favorite 80s song.
Just imagine it. Yeah.
Could sing you some Erashore. Always, I wanna be with you.
We don't have rights. We don't have rights.
You got rights for one sentence.
Okay.
It's a cover.
We will be back in about 15 minutes. Don't worry. All right. Nobody panic. I'm just gonna do this the really
turn it off and turn it back on again.
Incorrect way. Yep. I'm gonna do.
Hey, and all in our right spots. There we go. I love it. Welcome back. Wonderful, beautiful chat room. As well as welcome back to all of my absolutely wonderful players. If everybody, do we want to take a chance to just say hi again and let everybody know where it is that they can find you when that's not tonight? That was a really good sentence. I'm running a game, blah, 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 blah. Skylar, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
When I'm not playing in this game, I'm usually playing on Too Many Warlocks on Mercenaries of Mischief, or Deadlands on Mercenaries of Mischief, or you can catch my own content over at Noctum Sky on YouTube, which you can also see me at Mercenaries of Mischief on YouTube. So there you go.
Awesome. Fantastic. Beth, where can we find you?
Hello, I am Beth, and you can find me online with my fake cosplay name, Arcady. So if you want to see me wear lots of ridiculous wigs and make giant swords, you can follow me anywhere at Arcady Cosplay on pretty much every social media.
Fantastic. Jonathan, how about you?
You can find me right here. I have started kind of occasionally doing a little bit of streaming just to chill out over on my own channel, The Mad Makers. So you can check that out.
Awesome. Marina?
Yeah, so you can find me at the Roll with Advantage podcast. That's DM's Table at Twitter or .com.
And Arvi, where can we find you?
Hey, yeah, I'm on the Rise of the Demigods podcast, which is an all queer podcast, and it can be found at the Gods Fall Twitch channel or the YouTube, also demigodsfall.com.
Awesome. Okay, so welcome back. We left our group of 5 very good middle/high school aged friends. The things in Stenhammer are a little bit goofy. There is unfortunately a missing child. There's a large underground screaming, roaring thing of some kind. There's tales of were ninja yeti monster dino robot beasts in the forests, and on top of all of that, parents are acting awkward and there's a 9 o'clock curfew. But fortunately, all of our kids don't have to worry about the curfew for tonight because they are helping out the nurse. The school nurse has the yearly vaccines that have all been going on, and she said that she needed a little bit of help as far as having a group of kids that can load everything up, take them over to the laboratories, and bring some things back. They'll all be earning a little bit of extra credit. And I do believe that it was Noah that really pushed to be able to work on this tonight. So after dropping off our permission slips, grabbing a probably a quick bite to eat, and on top of that, everybody has 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and carrot sticks to make it healthy in a lunch packed by Enid's mom. We find ourselves back at the school. There's a handful of teachers that are wandering around. There are the custodians, and there is a note on the nurse's office door that simply says, "Kids, thanks so much for your help. I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes with the van." So you got about 10 minutes or so, you're going to guess, that are to yours with the 5 of you hanging out here in the school.
I'm going to check, is the door locked?
No, it's the school. It's the school. It's after hours. She's just there. No, the door opens up. The door into the nurse's office.
Sweden in the 80s.
I'll just
No one locks their doors.
check on something real quick, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
And I will,
I mean, do you all let him just go in by himself?
hoping nobody follows.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, what's that all about?
I'll sneak through the door or like peek through the door. I don't know if I'll follow,
All right.
but I think I have a strong case for an interest at this moment.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird last couple of days. Yeah, but sure enough. So yeah, I mean, the door's open. Tiffany is got her head peeked in. The lights are on. It's a school nurse's office. There's 2 beds that have like a little paper sheet you could pull around them. In the back, there's a couple of chairs, counters, a sink, cabinets. So what is it that Noah's doing?
I feel like I've probably done this before in previous years. I'm looking for where she's got the records of the vaccinations. I don't know,
There's
kept in paper or-
there is clearly like her desk over alongside one wall by the beds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm trying to find the whatever the record is for Wilhelm Olsen. Because I'm hoping to maybe go through this in alphabetical order, and so we haven't gotten the
absolutely.
vaccination yet.
So there is her desk, and then there's two large filing cabinets. The door to the common schoolroom was unlocked. All of the drawers of her desk and the file cabinet full of private medical records is 100% locked.
I've taken a few locks apart. I'm gonna try to pick it.
Yeah, you're welcome to go for it. I do believe there is actually one that says specifically lockpick to try to force a door open. So yeah, tell me, how is it that you are going to try to get this locked file cabinet open?
If it's a locked file cabinet, I'm gonna at first try to pick it because I don't want to break anything or let anybody know I was in there.
All right. I think that I am taking a look for it. You can try to sort of manipulate what it is that's going on here. So that would be a tinker. So roll your tech for me.
Okay. Tech.
And let's see what happens.
And okay, wait, so should I add bonus dice now?
No, not now. So just roll the tinker. Or the tech. So that's 5, and we didn't get any 6s there. How many points do you have in tinker?
I have 3.
Okay, so on the bottom left of the map screen is the bonus dice. You can
Nope.
click that 3 times.
Nope.
Oh, yeah. So you are, you're there, and you're sort of trying there's like a letter opener and a paper clip. Like sometimes this works, but it seems like it's you have the idea. It dawns on you that these are new filing cabinets than what they were last year, and the lock is a heck of a lot better than the one that you were able to get into last year. As you're working on that, let's say that as you're working on that, sorry, 1 second. As you are working on that, you hear Tiffany sort of a little louder than what she would need to say, "Oh, hi, Miss Nurse Astrid."
We'll quickly move away from there and then just
right as the nurse comes around the corner, like there's no getting out, but you're at least not standing right next to it.
find the nearest thing and make it look like I'm just organizing something for her.
You're sort of just like messing with a bunch of the popsicle stick tongue depressors. And she comes in, she goes, "Oh, thank you. I will have to throw all of those out now, but I suppose it was the thought that counts."
Yeah, just
Anyway, thanks so much for helping me out tonight, kids. Okay, well, if you will all, and she walks over, and there is one of the beds, and she pulls the paper gown thing back, and like lined up against the wall, there's like 20 of these boxes that just have essentially like the Sadducees, the staff with the medical staff symbol on them, and they all have like tape over the top of them, and have written Stinhammer Gundaskolen on those. And she says, "Okay, well, this is it's not the most exciting of field trips, maybe, but if everybody wants to grab a box, or maybe if you need to two people grab a box at a time, and we're just gonna go straight down the hall to the back loading dock and get these into the bus that we've got back there. And she picks up a box and starts gets outside and is just sort of waiting for all of you.
And we lift up a box and follow.
Yeah.
Has Noah ever expressed, like, have I ever gone on one of these like trips with Noah in any of the past years? And has it ever been like, I know he wouldn't tell me what's actually going on, but would he have ever been like, all right, now this is like a secret ninja mission and I gotta get in here?
Tell me you tell me whether or not you've been on this in the last few years. You decide that for yourself.
I've been on at least one. He normally tries to keep me out, but like there was at least 1 year where we, for some reason, had to stick together that evening. And
yeah, let's say last year you finally convinced him, like, whoa, I am 9. I can practically drive. I am coming with you. Yeah, so let's say last year you did.
So yeah, and if I look at him and I can tell that he's clearly like got that look, I'll like get the nurse's attention as she's walking out and just kind of like urge her on and start distracting her with ninja facts. I'd be like, I'll grab as many boxes as I can, like probably too many. Like I'm just like hauling as many as I can, and I'm just walking ahead, and I'm just like, oh, did you know, nurse, that ninjas, like, they wear black so they can blend in with the night, and they, their outfits were specifically tailored to like be great in combat, and I'm just going on and on and on.
Tell you what, I love what you did, and with the very specifics of what you described, because I know you're trying to distract her and all of that. But yeah, you grab one of these boxes, which is fairly heavy, and then you go to put that second box on top of it because you're trying to take too much. I'm gonna need you to make a body check for me, and you're working on this, and like you really want to try to make this work. So there's definitely a condition that's going to be associated with this one, as you are trying a little bit too hard. Just so we know, we're going to have either exhausted or injured. You're going to be really, really tired, or you might hurt yourself a little bit grabbing this extra box. And this is going to be more difficult than normal. You're going to need 2 successes.
One success is hard enough.
I know. But you role-played it beautifully.
I'll take my punishment. Let's see. So...
No, it's not a punishment, not at all. Okay, so that's a 0. Now, you are able to do a couple of things, because I know we're all new to the system. You can re-roll by spending one of your luck points, which you have 5 of. You can do that. You can do that one time. You can also try to push this and risk a second condition, being both, and you can tell me which one it is, but you would get 2 conditions if you don't get 2 successes. Also, if one of the other kids wants to tell us how you are helping him do this, you can get 1 extra dice if I think it makes enough sense. So we do still have some options.
I will say, as they were leaving, I probably grabbed Enid.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's got some engineering
skills.
So
Noah and Enid are sort of doing something else. So Ren or Tiffany, do you have a way in this just couple of seconds that you could try to help Razimus carry these 2 real heavy boxes? And he's struggling with just 1, and now he tried his second one.
I just try and like scoop one of them off of them because I'm older and like play soccer or football.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And
yeah.
I just like scoop up behind him and try to very gracefully just pull one of the boxes off.
All right. Yeah. So you're trying to get in there quick and just steady or take the weight off or something like that. So that works for me. So, right now, Rasmus, you'll get one extra die that you can roll if you choose to re-roll. But I still need to know the way that you want to re-roll this. Is it by risking a second condition, or do you want to spend one of your luck points?
I want to do luck primarily because I want to understand how that mechanic works, and because, I don't want to risk a second.
So absolutely. So on your character sheet, just click one of the boxes next to luck. You have 5. Since you're 10 years old, that means you have 5 points. 5 points. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I apologize so much. That means you get to re-roll your failures, which was all of them. So make your body check again. You got 1 success. Now you still have 1 bonus die because... Oh, and it was so close. Oh, no. Alrighty, so that does mean we got 1 success. Now it took 2 to make this work. So you are going to take because sorry, my green screen is acting really goofy behind me. I was trying to make it stop. Because Tiffany got in there, she's sort of you're holding it, and you've got it, and you've got it, and you've got it, and then she takes that second box up off of the top of it for you. So you don't hurt yourself, but you are exhausted. Like, this just tired. You had a long day, and you just, this absolutely tired you out. You didn't get dinner. You didn't get into the sandwich yet. So your condition is exhausted. So you will have -1 die moving forward. And remember, the way that we'll do that is when you roll, and then when you hover to see all of your dice, whatever that last die is, we'll drop it. Even if that last one is a 6, that's the one that will end up dropping. So you're exhausted. Tiffany, you're right there. You've got this other box. The nurse, unfortunately, the nurse is very much paying attention to what's going on inside of the nurse's office right now. And it's not a big office. So there's really kind of no way that you're going to be able to do this, mess with it, without her seeing it, at least right now. There are still, 20 boxes.
I will just lean in, though, and kind of whisper to Enid, take a good look at that cabinet. We might need your help later.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to say that between all of that, now she's got you trying to hurry up a little bit more. So it's sort of kind of a constant back and forth. But there's really only about 2 boxes left. And this is the moment where there's a little pause, and the nurse is not in the room. Enid is in the room. Noah isn't. So, with this challenge, either Enid, you can try to open it up for him, or Noah, you can risk a condition of exhausted to run back fast enough so that you're there to help him.
I will definitely risk that condition.
All right, so let's do that one first. So that will be, so you're running, which is body, but then also specifically move to try to get there quickly. So roll body.
Okay.
None there. How many points do you have in move?
I have 1.
1? All right, so in that bonus die, roll that one.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Yes.
you got it. Okay, so you come and you're booking it, and you're running, and you know that you're going to make it just in time, and you kind of slide into the doorway, and you have time for 1 sentence. What is 1 sentence that you tell Enid to help him figure out that lock? He's already sort of in the middle of it.
Okay. I'll say the mechanism's different. It's not a normal hook. I think it's one of those bolt things.
All right, so there it is. So I do believe that you have Tinker. Is that correct, Enid?
I don't.
Oh, well then this is a straight up tech. Unless you've got a way that you're wanting to deal with this, other than quote unquote picking it. You tell me how you're going to deal with this lock in this few seconds that you're by yourself before he slides into the room.
All right, so he gave me a little bit of intel that it's not the typical type of lock, that it's the one that slides with the bolt. So I'm going to try to see if I can quickly take a look at it and figure out if there's an easier way to open this thing without having to pick it.
Yeah, let me look at something real quick on your sheet. Yep, let me look at something. Yes, so you're taking a look at it and you realize in this last second, he's right. It's not a normal, just normal little type of lock. It's a lock that there's a couple of little like rubberized buttons, like what would be on your digital watch, and those are a part of the lock as well. So I'm gonna actually have you roll calculate for me to try to figure this mechanism out. So roll your tech first.
One success.
One success, so you got it there. And just to see in case it goes really, really well, how many points do you have in calculate?
2.
So roll that bonus dice button twice.
Another
A
success.
second one. Oh, wow. So you've got 2 successes off of this. Tell you what, you pop it open, and you find, you see the record sheet there absolutely right away, and you sort of you hold it up, and I'm gonna say that you helped once before with this. It's a part of the reason why you kind of know what's going on. So
Sure.
you hold that up, and Noah, you're able to run in. He doesn't know why he helped. You're able to run in.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
whatever-
say maybe he did, but we can sort that out.
You're able to run in and make whatever change on that sheet that you want.
Mhm. Yeah.
Since you got a second success, though, I am going to. You get to ask the player, RV,
Mm-hmm.
get to ask me, Ryan, the narrator, a question
Hmm?
about what's going on in the game right now, and I have to answer truthfully. So you can ask me, what's the purpose of what it is that's going on? Who made this locking mechanism? What's a potential problem that might arise because you opened it or because of messing with the sheet? What's the purpose of changing this sheet? You can ask me any question and I have to tell you the truth.
I guess I want to know what's the purpose of changing the sheet.
So over and so this is something where we're going to discuss something that the 3 other players don't know what's going on. I trust all of I'm kind of talking to all of us here. I trust all of my players to not metagame. So I'm not going to like ask people to take their headphones off or go in the other room or anything like that. You're all good role players. It's why I wanted you on my show. Over the break, you noticed that Rasmus's laugh is always exactly the same, almost like it's a recording. And you thought that was really, really weird.
Yeah.
And now that you're looking at all of this paperwork, it finally clicks for you because you were watching the 1920 movie Metropolis, where the guy makes a perfect human-looking android. And you realize Rasmus is an android.
Oh, wow.
And in that moment, Noah grabs the paperwork and he's making whatever change it is that he needs.
Yeah, I think at first I'm just going and just checking basically whatever else would have been done normally of being like done.
You check. You've done this before. It's check, 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 check. Now they'll like take his temperature and they'll check his reflexes and look at his eyes and his ears. Do all of the stuff where they don't have to like get below the skin.
Yeah. And I think as I go to put it back, I might notice sort of the look of realization on Enid's face at this point.
Yeah, Enid, is it written on your face or do you?
It's completely written on my face. I'm just like,
no.
Don't say anything. I can explain later. Okay, I just please.
Okay, yeah, you have a lot of explaining to do. That's what.
And from down the hallway, you said, "Oh, that's so fantastic!
Okay, the nurse is coming.
Appreciate all it is
No,
that
close it
you are
back up.
doing. So let's head to the bus."
Yeah, I'm gonna try to close it back.
Try to relock it.
Oh yeah, you get it locked. You absolutely you get it locked again. Now you wouldn't be able to like perfectly open it up with no problem. Mechanically, you'd have to roll in the future, but you get it locked up, and you know that no one's going to be able to tell that you opened it.
Okay.
I'd like to think that even though mechanically we weren't distracting, we still were trying to. So, like, one thing you hear as we're coming down, like, oh, so that's where babies come from. Thank you. Dad wouldn't tell me.
Now where you came from?
He says that, and you see the nurse sort of be like, "Oh, Wilhelm, you rascal."
I want to know.
The game is in the 80s. She's from the 50s, I guess. I don't know. But she picks up a set of keys. She picks up a set of keys on her desk from her desk where the two of you are standing, but it's not that far from where the boxes were. And she stops. And she looks at her desk and cocks her head to the side a little. And the pen you use to fill out the changes picks it up off the desk, goes, huh, and puts it back in the mug where she keeps all the rest of her pens. She turns around and smiles and says, all right, let's head to the bus. And she's doing the thing where she's standing by the light switch waiting for you all to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quickly.
We'll
Very
leave
quickly
quickly
out the door.
as I give pointed looks at Noah on the way out.
She says, oh, I've been wanting to try this. It's a brand new thing. No one else in town has one. It's on loan from my wife who works at the Loop. And she goes, Lenexa, lights off. And the lights in the room turn off. She closes the door and locks it.
Cool.
Whoa. Is Lenexa like a little ninja that lives in your ceiling?
No, Wilhelm, it's a robot. It's a little robot that sits on the counter and you can tell it to turn the lights on and off. It doesn't do anything else. It's kind of pointless and I'm sure it'll never catch on.
Yeah. Robots are not nearly as cool as ninjas.
All of these lines are better now. So, the bus ride, and you're in, you are in a bus that has fewer seats than a large bus. You're in a shuttle bus. You're in a shuttle bus. That's how I can say it. You're in a little shuttle
brief bus, if you.
A brief bus. You're in a little shuttle bus. It's still yellow and it still says Guntaskola on the side of it. I really hope we have a Swedish fan so that they can be like, you are saying all of these words wrong.
Everyone out there.
A kindergarten bus. Yeah. Underskolan bus. A kinderskolan bus. You're in a kindergarten bus. Because there's only 6 of you. But yeah, you're in there and you all pile in and you sit in the seats and the nurse gets in the driver's seat and you hear her like put the keys in and turn the keys and she flips a couple of switches and you hear the like sound and you feel as the little like repulsor pads turn on and you feel the bus lift up a couple of feet and you're on your way It's taken about an hour, so it's like 7:30, but you guys don't have to worry about the curfew tonight. And she turns onto the road, and you know that well, Noah knows because he's helped with this before, but it's going to take about an hour and a half. It's going to take an hour and a half drive. You have to go basically all the way to the other side of the little island that you guys are all on. It's not an island, it's a peninsula, whatever, that you're on. It'll take you about an hour and a half to get there, unload stuff, and then an hour and a half to get back. Where do all of you sit in the bus?
I think I pull Enid to the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna sit next to Noah.
All right.
I feel like Ren and I have been hanging out this evening, so we're probably still together because, you know, we've just been totally ignored by everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Typical.
Make sure to sit at the front, and watch the road for hazards, danger.
Yeah. And there's just this look of like, yeah, I guess all the bumps are more fun in the back of the bus, but okay. And he'll just kind of defeatedly walk up to the front.
Okay. Yeah, and sure, you do that. And as you start to sit down, the nurse turns to you and says, if you want to sit in the back with all of your friends, it's fine. Just make sure that you put your lap belts on. It's fine.
What does a 10-year-old do when they have mixed signals?
Question.
You make the story choice that's more interesting.
Okay, and then I'll walk back to the back and sit in the back and be like, she said it's fine.
So what is the sentence that gets interrupted seconds into by Razimus coming back between Enid and Noah?
He can never find out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that, like, Ren and Tiffany, you're sitting next to each other, but you're also just right across that tiny little aisle. So you hear him say he can never find out, and then Razimus walks up and just plops right down in that little half seat that's in the very, very back. So you're all right on top of each other.
I'm gonna take out my sandwich and just stuff my face so I'm not having to like say anything out loud.
Ever gossipy, I'm gonna lean in and go, what are we whispering about?
Your secrets, right, Raz?
Yeah.
We don't have secrets.
Apparently some of us do.
I feel left out, Ren.
I look at Noah. I'm like,
Well, look, you all know about how Raz has been doing his training to be a ninja, right? Well, if he gets vaccinated, it'll stop him from being able to build his natural ninja immunities. Haven't you noticed how he's never been sick?
Is there a stat I can roll to call bullshit?
Yeah, how careful do we have to be that this doesn't sound like we're pro-anti?
I'm pretty sure that you can, and I also highly encourage you. There's no roll. You can simply call bullshit because vaccines work and homeopathy doesn't.
Right, I'm pretty sure
And
my
who
debate
always gets
team
hit?
had this debate before, and like this is
absolutely,
Sweden.
I was going to say, it's not America. That's science is actually believed in Sweden.
No, that's not a thing.
Right, but Raz is a special boy. Right, Raz? You're stronger and tougher than most kids, right?
I'm the next Hokage.
Enid?
Nice.
yeah, I'm just like, no.
Okay. So it is that time of year, and you are far enough north that it gets dark sooner, and it stays dark longer. So it's already really dark outside. You've been on the road for about 45 minutes. You're about halfway there, and it's really nothing but just low lands that are kind of swampy. There's trees. And all of this kind of stuff. Very, very dark night. Beautiful northern lights out tonight. And you start to there's like a bump, which there's no wheels, but if there's a bad enough dip in the road, then the repulsor, you go down and the repulsor kicks in. And so it's a fun little bump that's there. And then there's a second bump, and then the whole bus tilts to like one corner, and you all like flail around in your seats a little bit, and you hear a real high-pitched whine from one of the repulsor pads. That it's the back left one. It's the repulsor pad near the little single seat that Razimus is sitting in, actually. And you hear the nurse. She yells, and she kind of swerves the bus around, and it comes to a stop, and like a couple of you kind of hit the seat in front of you.
Ow.
That weird form press molded plastic of the bus seat that's there. The bus is at this really nasty angle. And you see her, she's really upset, and she flips a couple of switches, and you hear all of the repulsor pads turn off, and the bus lowers itself and just sort of settles onto the embankment off the side of the road where all of you are. And she stands up and turns around. Are all of you okay? And she comes up and is like grabbing like by the arm, like, and looking in people's eyes and all that. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt? How's your neck? How's your head? Does anybody feel nauseous yet?
No, I think we're okay. What happened?
She says, something happened with one of the pads. I'm not really. Everybody feels okay. Nobody. Like, she helps.
There's Astrid. I have some experience with the repulsor pads. I could take a look.
Oh, no, what I really would love for you to just everybody stay right here, stay in the bus. Let me take a look at everything, but just sit down and stay here. Keep your seatbelts on. I will be right back.
I give Ian the look like we've built half a dozen hover things. Who does she think she is?
Technical term, hover things.
Hover things.
Hover thingies, yeah. So you go out and she goes out, and you like, it's the window, it's those school bus windows, but like you can see what she's kind of doing, and like she's not looking in the right spot where the thing is. Like, you can see all this, and she's clearly very, very upset. And she comes back around, and like the bus has all of these windows, and it's dark outside, but you can still like kind of see her, but you kind of see her just like collecting herself a little bit, and like she like pulls her hair back a little bit, and she's and then she walks onto the bus, and she goes, "Okay, kids, so everything is absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about. The bus isn't gonna be going anywhere, but just a few kilometers back, there was that service station that we passed. So I'm gonna trust all of you big grown students, young men and women, to really earn my trust, and just, you're gonna stay right here in the bus and look after all of those lab samples for me, and I'm gonna walk to that service station, and I'll be back real soon. Okay, you make me proud. And she does take the key. And you see her take a couple of steps, and then she stops and opens her purse up, and she has a pair of flats in her purse, and she takes her heels off and puts a pair of flats on, and her shoulders slump because it's pitch black except for the northern lights, and walks, and within 30 seconds she's gone. And the 5 of you are in this bus. She closed the door. Behind her. No, bus doesn't work. It's flat on the ground. And you're all by yourself.
Enid, we should probably have a look, right? I'm sure we could fix it. She didn't know. She wouldn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
That's so worrying. What the heck? Adults always say these things when there's nothing going on. They say that, and there's really something going wrong. And then she just leaves us.
Yeah, she was acting kind of weird.
And I'll
Yeah,
kind of
I was
grab him
gonna
by the
ask.
arm and pull him out the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, before you guys leave, yeah, Rin and Tiffany, this all happened so fast. What's going through your guys' minds? What do you want to contribute?
We are well into the scene.
I
middle of
would
the scene.
my knowledge of buses tells me that there should be a first aid kit of some sort and a flashlight and stuff up in the front in a box.
Yeah,
I want to
there's
march
this
right up to
blue-
the box and start digging through and see if we can find anything actually useful, like a flashlight.
Oh yeah. You pop open. There's that little blue metal first aid kit. And you pop that open, and that's absolutely fantastic. There's some gauze in there. There's some bandages. A little bottle of iodine. There's a really small, this big flashlight that's in there. A pair of those angled safety scissors. I don't know why they're at that angle. I'm sure a medical person would know, but we all know there's the medical scissors I'm talking about. There's that stuff. There's stuff.
Yeah,
there's that stuff.
I assume I probably have a school bag, and I'll just take them all and turn the flashlight on and open the bus door.
Okay.
Not staying on the bus. I don't know how to fix the bus, but I'm not staying on it.
You push up on the little plastic thumb thing, and the flashlight does not turn on.
Awesome. I hit it a couple times.
So by doing this, you shake it, and
Yeah.
you hear something rattling inside of it. And as you shake the flashlight, the bulb just barely starts to glow a little, and then you stop shaking it, and the bulb dies back down.
I use my 1 point of tech to try and fix it.
You don't have to roll it. No.
Awesome.
You just you realize, oh, this is one of those perpetual motion flashlight things. You have to
crank it.
shake it really hard for 30 seconds, and you get about a minute's worth of light. So it doesn't work real well, and it's not real bright, and it goes off after about a minute or two. But by shaking it, you can get it to light back up again.
I have a revelation about what I'm going to be doing while we fix the bus. I know what my role is in this, guys. Don't worry, I got the flashlight.
You go to open that lever thing, the bus is not running, and it seems like the lever does not. Oh, that doesn't make sense. The door opens.
Okay, great.
I was going to add an extra complication, but that's silly. The door.
I was going to
opens.
kick it next, so
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
the better move.
shoulder my way through that.
Yeah.
No. I was making things too difficult. It's like I have my own northern lights back behind me when they flash on. The door opens up, and you go outside.
Yeah, I go outside, I hop out. Yeah.
You're outside. It sounds like Enid and Noah went outside. Rasmus and Rin, what are you two up to?
I guess if I see Ren, or if everybody else is already moving and Ren's still there, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know why she left. My brother can fix anything. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, the nurse was just acting really weird. I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know. I feel like I should go do a perimeter check though to make sure everybody's like safe. Make sure there's nothing like coming out of the shadows.
Maybe you should stay with us.
Right, but like around the bus, I'll be there, but like you won't know I'm there, but you'll know I'm there. You know what I mean?
So Ren's kind of like, well, having you run around is probably not the greatest idea. So I say, why don't you do a perimeter check from inside the bus? Because there's windows everywhere, so you can see all the directions at once.
Oh my god, this is the one time I can hang out the windows and they can't tell me not to. And he runs to the back and like starts pulling down the window.
So yeah, you do that thing where you push the buttons in the side and the windows come down.
Rasmus, I'm very happy to tell Rasmus, not only can you open all like 7 windows on both sides, but the hatch to the roof also is not locked. And since the bus isn't on, the little alarm won't go off.
Give me a boost, please.
Okay, now roll body to see if you... No, I'm kidding. No. The 3 of you are outside and the windows start like clack, 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 clack. All the windows are coming down. And then like you hear like, no, put your foot, no, shoulder. And then you hear like a clunk. And then Rasmus pops up through the hatch in the middle of the roof of the bus. So definitely nothing bad can happen now that you've got somebody watching out for all of you. How do we want to try to deal with this tire, with this repulsor thing?
I'm honestly not
sort of
even trying
checking
to
it out.
deal with the repulsor. I'm trying to get Enid and Tiffany to a place where they will drop the subject.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll say that you've got a good couple of minutes while Rasmus is being talked into staying on the bus and opening the windows and trying to figure out the latch. Yeah, you've
Those
got
windows
a
are
good
really like sometimes they get stuck.
Yeah, they get stuck and like people scratch graffiti into them, right? So you guys have a good 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, where it's the 3 of you in relative privacy being able to chat.
Noah, are you gonna tell her?
Tell me what? You should tell me.
Okay. Enid, we've lived near each other for a while. Didn't you notice how Raz just kind of showed up one day?
I guess so. I never really put it together until then, though.
Well, after Mom died and Dad was really overwhelmed and I thought he needed a farm hand, so I tried to build him one, and he of course didn't think it would work good enough, and so I tried. It was kind of small. At first it didn't, but then it got better. I learned more about synthetic biomaterials, kind of getting the skin right, and as I got closer to real, it almost got too real, and everybody else thought it was real, so it became him.
I I look at Tiffany. Does Tiffany kind of understand what Noah's saying, or
I think
am I
she's
gonna have to
putting-
spell it out?
Tiffany's actually not stupid. She has her moments, but
Okay.
Tiffany's like actually pretty smart, and I think she's putting together that maybe not in so many words that android is the conclusion, but I think she's putting together that like he's maybe not real or made. He's been made.
I built him, and he can't know.
Why can't he know?
He
Because
doesn't
it's-
know.
He's thought he was a boy for like 5 years. I don't think anybody else outside the family knows. If he found out, can you imagine what that would be like? What if you found out you were an android all of a sudden? He thinks he's a ninja. Just let him think he's a ninja. Please, I'm begging you. It's gonna break his heart.
You're gonna have to tell him eventually. Does he age? Is he gonna be 10 forever? Because that's not gonna stay forever.
I can control his memories.
Should you?
This all doesn't
Never really
sound
thought
right.
about it.
Do your parents
That was
know?
dark.
I mean, yeah, Dad knows, and Grandma and Grandpa know, and my brother and sister know. Obviously, they don't think that we just had a little brother appear at 10 years old. Or 5 at the time. Kind of upgraded over time, and I think I can keep doing it. During downtime, when he's asleep, I could change things.
Every year for the rest of your life?
It's worked so far.
Whose life are you living then?
Yeah, that's a pretty.
I think that just kind of lingers in silence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy moment, and it's right there that you hear the clang of the upper the portal, not portal, the hatch on the top of the bus, and Rasmus pops up.
Could you do that if he wasn't a ninja?
I'm like frantically shaking the flashlight to keep it turned on because I'm getting anxious and don't know, and this is very new.
Yeah, so all of that's gone. So that's happened.
So I
You do
poke my
still-
head out of the window and ask how the repairs are going.
Ren, did you? Because you weren't running around trying to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and you were just sitting near an open window. So, did Ren also hear that conversation?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, you pop your head out. And do you want to, with the way you look and act and ask the question, do you let them know? Be like, "Hey, dummies, I heard you," or do you try to keep that still to yourself?
Okay, 13 years old. I'd probably feel a little miffed that I was kind of left out of the conversation. So, yeah, I just kind of be like, "Hey, guys, like, what?"
What?
And then
What?
I'm
Yeah.
here too, you know?
What?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. Like, Clang, what? What? And then Rasmus, what? No, that's fantastic. All of those whats, and you guys all kind of like, I'm going to say that it's really tense for a second, and then one of you giggles a little because this is awkward, and then someone else laughs, and then someone else laughs. So who was the first person that broke? Who's the first person that sort of giggled at how awkward this just became?
I think I was just too serious. It's probably
Okay.
not Tiffany.
Okay.
Tiffany went too deep.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and take a scared condition right now, or upset. What do you think is appropriate? I don't know if it works like that. But
if you want to take one, well, hold on to that, because
yeah,
usually you can choose to take something like that, and it gets you some dice later.
Okay,
so somebody laughs, somebody breaks the tension.
I'll laugh.
Nervous laugh, or maybe you don't mean it, but your one friend laughs, and then this situation is so ridiculous, and oh my god, what he just told you is so ridiculous, and then after a little while, you're all laughing at how silly this is. Like, you keep having to like shake this flashlight.
The stupid flashlight. Yeah, and it's like an awkward motion.
And you're hanging at the top of a latch, and you're like, my friends are jerks and they're ignoring me, but also we're broken down in the middle of a swamp, and the two of you are like, I guess I know how to do this now. And everybody's just sort of like laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. And the laughter starts to calm down a little bit, and you're all done laughing. And from the darkness in the street in front of you, it's not close enough, you can't see what's going on. You guys all get done laughing, and we'll say it's Ren, who last is just kind of like and from the darkness in the street up ahead of you, you hear ha ha.
Nope.
What was that?
Nope, don't like that.
Nope.
Do I see it because I'm up there trying to play lookout?
You're up there, but it is really, really dark. Like, you can see a little bit, but you cannot see whatever this is. In that, and in all of that, then you hear, nope.
I say, Tiffany, shine their flashlight in that direction.
I don't want to shine the flashlight in that direction.
I don't want to shine the flashlight. Nope.
I shine the flashlight in that direction, despite really not wanting to.
You shine the flashlight in that direction, and like it sweeps a little bit, and you see like the reflective strip on the road, and you see like the yellow lines and the blacktop, and you see like things glint off of like bugs, and then you see like the like a green like a green teal like eye shine.
Mm-hmm.
And you pass over and it freaks you out, and you swing the flashlight back, and there in the middle of the road you see a raccoon. There's just a raccoon in the middle of the street, and it's like doing its little slow sort of like awkward chubby walk, like when raccoons walk really slow and it looks a little weird and cute, and it walks, and like the light sort of flickers and fades down, and it like kind of stops, and then the light goes out, flashlight goes out,
and we all scream.
I don't think I mentioned this before, but Noah's kind of a big kid. He's a farm strong kid.
Yeah. I stand behind Noah. Just
that's fine.
Not turning my back, just back up and shift.
Okay. Well, now that Tiffany's stepped behind me, I have to.
Do you shake the light again to make it work?
Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm shaking the light, and like I step behind him and then turn it back on.
Yeah, and the raccoon is exactly where it was. It's just this one raccoon that sort of like stopped because the light turned off, so the raccoon stopped, and you turn the light back on, and you see the raccoon, and you see like another raccoon walk up, and then a third raccoon, and then they all sort of like do that thing where they come up on their hind legs, and they sort of turn to look at each other, and the raccoon in front of you opens its mouth, but like there's something in its mouth, and you squint and you look, and you're like, what is in that raccoon's mouth? And it's the grill of the front of a speaker, and from the raccoon you hear ha 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 ha, nope, shine the flashlight, ha ha ha, nope, nope. And then the third one opens its mouth, and the second one opens its mouth. And then you hear from all around you in the darkness, just like 20 or 30 different ha 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 ha. Nope.
Gosh.
Nope. Ha 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 ha. Tiffany. Ha 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 ha. You hear all of these little speakers going off. Whatever you've said in the last few minutes, it's just playing it back at you.
Oh my god.
And the flashlight starts to flicker. What are we doing now? That's what you're seeing. What are you all doing? The three of you that are outside of the bus.
We need to run back inside. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say
Back in
it.
the
I'm
bus.
just going to run inside.
Everyone get back in the bus.
Back in the bus. Back in the
Back
bus.
in the bus.
Back in the
Back in the bus.
I'm
Okay.
immediately just trying to put as many windows up as quickly as I can.
That's
I don't-
very
All right.
smart.
I don't know we're in danger yet, so the first thing I do is just like I'm stupid.
So you're all running to the bus. All of this is going off. People are trying to put up things. And just in the flashlight sweep that you saw before it went out when Tiffany started to run, you saw the eye shine of, you would guess, maybe 40 different of these little raccoons. You all get back into the bus. The doors open. All of the windows are open. Rin is trying to mess with one, but it's stuck. Razimus is hanging out of the open hatch on the top of the bus. So I'm actually going to go sort of one at a time and ask, in the first, few seconds of getting back on the bus, what is it that you want to try to start doing? And let me just start with Enid.
I'm just going to run inside, and I'm going to peer out like the front window, and then I'm going to say, this is like a really, really bad cult horror movie, like C-list, D-list
Alright.
horror movie.
So yeah, you get on there and you're sort of in the driver's seat area and you're looking out and you're trying to check out what's going on. What is Rin doing in these first few seconds? You've got one window that's stuck. Are you going to stick with that, or what else are you going to do?
I kind of punch at it in frustration, and then I move to the next window because I
Okay.
figure if I can at least get a lot of windows up, that's better than nothing.
Okay, so you're going to work on the windows. What is Tiffany doing in these first few seconds?
I'm gonna slam the bus door closed behind us. Once
So
we're
you
all
close the bus
inside.
door. It only took us
Yes.
3 to get to the door being closed. Good.
Had to make sure everybody else was in
Yeah.
first.
Noah, what are you doing in these first few seconds?
Since Tiffany got the door, I will go try to force the stuck window.
Okay, you're going to go specifically to the stuck window. And Rasmus, what are you doing? You yelled your I'm stupid thing.
Yep, and then I'm 10 and I'm brave, so I'm just standing on top of the bus, like getting in like a ninja stance, just like, all right, this is my time.
So while
Raz,
this is going
Raz,
on,
lockdown.
Raz is actually has gotten so that he is standing on the top of the bus.
I always thought I was standing on the top, but if I was like in between, that's
No, I love it. This is great.
Oh no, yeah, no, you're
Wonderful.
if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. That's fantastic. You're standing on top of the bus. All right. So this mechanically in the system is what is referred to as an extended trouble. So there's not just one check that we have to figure out in order to make this work. This is going to be something that is hard for us to overcome. You know that there is a weird robot raccoon, but you're not really sure what else is going on right now. A hard extended trouble. There are 5 of you, which means over the course of whatever you tell me you're going to work on, and I'll walk us through this, you have to come up with 15 successes.
Fun.
Hard is number of kids times 3.
Oof.
So our goal number here is 15 successes. The first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of narration, and then after that's done, when I check back in with you, you're going to decide. We're going to make a plan. You're going to decide what each one of you is doing individually to contribute to what we're doing, and those will all be tied to attribute or skill checks. And then after we figure out what we're going to figure out what is the main plan. This is the goal, and then you'll all do your individual things to make that goal happen. And then we're going to go around. Each one of you will sort of get the spotlight on you, but we're all working together to narrate your part of the scene leading up to your role. That's how an extended trouble works. The stakes for this is that if you don't deal with this situation somehow, the raccoons are going to get on the bus.
Maybe they're friendly raccoons.
And everyone at minimum will take the injured condition.
Hey.
So these raccoons will get on the bus, and whatever it is that they're doing, whyever it is that they're on the bus, you're going to be between them and it. And there's going to be a lot of bites and scratches that resolve from it. So at the very minimum, and those conditions may change as you decide to risk and push and all of that kind of stuff. But so that's what this big climactic scene works like. This is the Tales from the Loop equivalent of a boss fight. So those are the stakes. 15 is what it is that we have to go to. Remember that you have luck. You can use luck once in the scene. You are all already trying to help each other, so there's no like trying to help and add one die. You also, if you find a way to make it make sense, have your iconic items and you have your pride. If there's a way that you can convince me, and it's sometimes hard to convince me of this, that your pride very specifically factors into your skill check, it's an automatic success. But that's a hard one to convince me on. But that's how some of those are going to work. All right. We're trying to get windows open. We've got the door closed. We've got a ninja on the top of the bus that's apparently going to take on 40 robot raccoons. And we're trying to like figure out what in the hell is going on outside. That's where we are right now. What is the plan? What is the end goal that's going to keep you safe from, fight back against, dissuade, distract, whatever it is? What is the big overall loose main goal for dealing with these robo raccoons?
Get out
The
alive.
machine has a weak point. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, just get out alive.
Get out alive, yeah.
Every machine has a weak point.
If they're hungry, if they actually like eat things, we have a lot of sandwiches we could try to throw. If they like are raccoons at all.
Are they machines or are they aminals that have been like...
Both?
Some machines can
They
run.
are machines
Organic
that look
matter?
like animals.
So yeah, Rasmus yells that down because he's standing on the thing, and you just start hearing a chorus of recorded voices going, machines, 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 ha ha ha, machines, aminal machines.
Enid, have you seen any movies or read any books about anything like this?
I mean, I don't know if there's. I think we need to, like, in the movie, I would be yelling at the screen right now to tell the people to get out of there. I think we need to get the bus started and, like, get the heck out of here.
Does anyone know how to drive?
We can figure it out.
One of the we didn't
We're
fix
teenagers.
the repulsor though. Is it gonna move?
Oh. Yeah, there's that.
Look, every machine has a weak point. There's got to be some way to disable them or
reprogram them?
Depends how they're programmed. Sometimes they're programmed by light pulses, but that's kind of a gamble. We don't know. If we got one, maybe we could take a look, but that's gonna take a while.
I'll hold them all.
And there's
Breath!
definitely
Maybe get inside!
more that are closing in on the bus. They're all doing their weird sort of awkward slow walk, but you can see they're doing that thing like they're trying to figure the bus out.
What
Yeah,
if
it
we
sounds
try
like
to
we've
scare
got-
them
Yeah.
Like, with the horn on the bus?
Horn.
Yeah.
What if we can amplify the horn? Ren, do you know stuff about amplifiers and sound and stuff, right? Radios?
Okay, so it sounds like we've got
Maybe?
reprogram them somehow, find their weakness, scare them, fight them off, or get the bus working. So which one of those three? Scare / fight, reprogram, or get the bus working? What do we think? Let's settle on one of those three plans. But you're doing it perfectly. Everything's in character. I love it.
I mean, I don't know. I like the idea of scaring them, right? We can honk and like do something with the lights, and I don't know.
Yeah, y'all can scare them, and I'll fight them, and together we'll make them all go. We got this.
Don't think you should fight them, Rasmus.
No.
I think you should get inside, Rasmus.
I think the reprogramming will take too long, and we don't even know if we can reprogram them.
Yeah, so you guys are in there and you're all talking, and Rasmus, you can hear them, and you actually see one of the raccoons just poked its head up over the grill of the bus, and it's standing like on the hood, not up on the roof where you are, but it's standing on the hood, and you see it like stands up on its back paws, and then it straightens its leg out, and then its head starts to split open, and there's these two machine mouths on the inside, and its tail splits into these long machine whipping things, and its claws grow a lot longer right as you start to finish your sentence of "I'll fight him."
I'll still fight them, but I'm staying next to the hole. But up until the point where I cannot, this is a point of pride. Like, I have to do this.
If we start, this is a question. So one of the repulsor things is broken. Could we still technically, like, if we found a way to start the van, technically get out of here, even though we're on like one side?
Okay. If you could start the van, you could make it float and do all of that kind of stuff. And the repulsors would work, and the lights and all of that kind of stuff. But without that repulsor, it's not going to be able to go anywhere. It's like the big one on the back.
I have an idea. Since Ras is up on top of the roof, I will pull all these guys in close. Look, if we can get the bus started and tap into its power source, I can amplify Raz's vocal mechanisms. He can be real loud, and maybe he can scare them away.
Hey.
You won't even have to know.
I can't think of a better plan.
That's
I
as
guess.
good a plan as we got. Yeah.
All right, Enid, if you can get the power on, that would be ideal. Tiffany, can you find some sort of, any sort of cable, big piece of copper, anything? Ren, I need you to figure out what's gonna scare these things, because I don't know.
All right, so it sounds like we've got get the bus started and scare them off is our main plan for what it is that we're going to go for. So I'm gonna go around and let the scene focus on each one of you, and you narrate for me what it is that you do and how you think it's gonna help start the bus, scare them off. Maybe we're gonna use maybe we'll use Razimus to amplify that, but we can stick to the general, because this is all happening pretty quickly. We're also, young kids. But bus on, scare the raccoons. That's the big plan that we've got. What are you doing to make those two things happen? Is there someone who wants to start this scene off?
Yeah. So
All
I
right.
have some points in empathize.
Well, tell me what
and-
you're doing first, and then I'll figure out what the things are. I love doing it that way.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing is still just kind of putting the windows up, but I'm not really focusing on that as much anymore. That's more just kind of like a mechanical motion.
Okay.
But I'm looking at all of the robot raccoons side of the bus and trying to figure out what it is they want or how they operate, anything like that.
Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. So definitely like figuring out what sentient robots or animals, and these seem to be both, that is absolutely empathize. So yeah, you're sliding the windows closed. And since you're not focusing on that as much, I'm going to say that you're going to be able to get like maybe half of the windows closed.
Yeah.
You're really focusing more on these. So that works for me. We can let this be an empathize that we do. So empathize is based off of mind. Did you find the like main sort of white map page where the bonus dice button is?
It's a text box for me.
Yeah, that's all it is. So then go ahead and roll mind.
Empathize?
Well, roll mind, and then I'll
Oh,
have you do
okay.
the empathize stuff with the button. Oh, that's tough. So we got none there. How many points do you have in empathize?
3.
3. So then you'll click that button 3 times, the bonus dice text box button.
For me, it just lets me enter in a number. It doesn't let me like click on it more times. But I'll try
That's
putting in a 3.
strange.
Let's see.
That gave you, you are doing it a little bit differently than we are, but that's all right. So I'm gonna just take those first 3 instead of all of them over
Yeah.
again, because then we rolled a lot of dice. But those first 3 did get you 2 successes. So you are able to figure out something about these raccoons very specifically, and actually, so you're going to be able to contribute to this whole scaring them, making them, if not stop, do so. So that gives us 2 successes towards our 15, and you get to ask a specific question about the raccoons, like what is their weak spot, or how can you make them do something? What do they want? What will they do next? Those specific questions, you get to ask one.
How can I make them leave us alone?
How can you make them leave you alone? They want at least some of whatever is in those boxes.
Okay.
That's what they want. So you've got a bit of a second to say, and they're not like blood samples. They're these test kit type things.
Mhm.
So you figured that out. What is it that you say to everybody else as you're shutting these windows when you figure it out?
Guys, I think maybe they want the vaccine kits. I mean, that's the only thing on the bus that a robot animal thing would want. I say we throw a few of those kits at them and see if that distracts them.
Okay.
But the nurse told us we have to protect them. She said we were strong adults and that was our job.
Yeah, that was before the robot raccoon showed up.
And she left us.
Why would they want the vaccine? And then Noah has a moment where he thinks like, hold the fuck on a second. Why do we return something from the school to the lab? These are vaccines, not tests.
Well, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Right, yeah.
But
It
Well, while
finally
you all
clicked for me.
consider that very important questions, the raccoons overrun the bus, and
Right, and we all die.
no, that's awesome. Okay, so Ren got us 2 successes, and there is now potentially an item on the bus that you can use. And using that item, depending on how you describe and what you do with it, the item being the boxes, you can get 1, 2, maybe 3, but probably not, 1 or 2 extra dice on your roll. All right, so that was Ren's. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Enid? All right. What does
so-
Enid got for them?
Yeah, I'm supposed.
Scare them off and start the bus. That's what we're doing.
I'm starting the bus.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like think about all the movies I've seen, and I know like so the keys are no longer here, right? Like the nurse took.
Correct.
But I've seen in movies like somehow they're able to jumpstart the whatever vehicle they're in. So I'm gonna recall on that, and so I'm looking like at the steering wheel or the area where you start the bus, and I'm gonna pull out my iconic item, which is my trowel. And so when I took the exams, I wanted to be an archaeologist, and that's exactly the result that I got. So I'm carrying this trowel because I've tried to become the archaeologist or whatever.
All right.
I'm gonna use it to pop.
Will it
open-
into being?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it to pop open whatever circuitry I need to pop open, and then recall on my knowledge of maybe I can try to calculate how to start the vehicle.
Let me take a look at there. Well, yeah. So the like steering column where all of that stuff is, it's all that like metal and molded plastic, and there's no way you'd be able to get your fingernails in there. But
Exactly.
definitely, there's that trowel. You pop that. So you're gonna get 2 dice extra because you're using your key item there. All right. So let me figure this out. Machines, everyday technology, robots. I don't know if calculate works perfectly for this one, but
It is kind of everyday technology, right?
Tinker definitely does it, which is jerry rig equipment or do all of that kind of stuff. Tinker works for me. Program isn't really there. Yeah, I think Tinker works really well. Tinker works really well if you have a point in there that you can roll. Otherwise, I think it's going to be the bonus of your trowel and just a straight up mind.
You mean tech?
Tech, yes. Sorry, tech.
I don't have a point in Tinker. I had 2 points in Calculate, so I was gonna try to do it that way.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to like make it work as far as if it was maybe a little bit more advanced, this is much more machinery based. So
Sure.
the Tinker works for you.
Okay, so I'll roll tech.
All right, so roll that tech. Oh no, where did my roll
wow.
20 went away?
I got
gotta-
2 successes.
You got 2 successes. That's awesome.
Nice.
I must have clicked the wrong button and I closed my roll 20. But I absolutely believe you. So that was just off of your. So now roll 2 extra bonus dice and see where we get.
Just 2 successes.
We're at 2 successes. That is nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. While I'm getting roll 20 back up, so you are able to you pull a couple of the wires out, and you figure out where does this go, where does that go, and you hear the engine start to turn over, and there we go.
I'm like, guys, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, so a couple of things happen. This is the order that they happen in. The lights turn back on, and you can see in front of you and off to the sides, because of the lights being on now, all
Nice.
of these raccoons.
Yay.
Hey.
All of these raccoons that are just there, and most of them in some form are not only just a raccoon, but some sort of robotic, mean looking, nasty, gonna hurt you machinery sticking out of them. So you see that. Is the first thing that you see. Also, the radio kicks on. So that's nice. And Thriller is playing.
Yes.
Little
As
raccoon
all of-
hands.
Raccoon.
Yeah, little raccoon.
They all stand up and start.
So that is going on. And it seems like some of the sort of just the basic, this is how the bus works. Those types of things are working. It's not in a situation where you would be able to drive it, but the like when you turn a car on and it's in idle and the engine's running and it's running off the battery, that's the situation that you've got going on there. Now that was off of just straight up tech. I want to check something real quick for you. I just want to see if you can get, if there is a chance for you to get a bonus off of something there. Yeah, so you also have the bus running off of the battery power well enough that if anybody else moving forward is able to make it make sense that it's a part of the bus that they're using, like a powered part of the bus that they're using, they're going to be able to use an extra 2 dice off of that. So if there's a way that you can convince me that the lights or the radio or the whatever, there's an extra 2 dice for you in there. We have 4 successes. 2 people, 4 successes. We have 11 more left that we need.
No pressure, guys.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Noah?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll.
Nope. No, that works. No, that works. We're all working things together. So yeah,
I'll be like, hey, Rez, lay down against the hole. I gotta give your special ninja massage to get your chi flowing, so you can scare them off, right? You know, I do
Okay.
that sometimes.
And I'll put my cube down that I was working with, and I'll lean down.
Oh, you can hold on to that while you're working with that. That's fine. Just need you to lay down against the hole. And I will kind of like pull his shirt back and access a panel. And I'm
Okay.
gonna dig in there and find the wires that I can route to the bus speakers. So that hopefully when he does an intimidating ninja shout, it will be at the full amplification of whatever this bus is capable of. And I would say that this is definitely tapping into my pride. I am the best inventor in Sweden, and this individual is proof of that. So I can definitely tap his vocal processor into another set of speakers, no problem.
All right, I can give you that. So we can tap into the pride, and this will be an automatic success, but that'll just give us 1 success.
Ooh.
Versus if you've got the dice, and if you can find a way to use the narrative of what you're doing to use any of the items, you're probably not gonna be able to use the box. But
all right, let me rephrase this.
Tied to the battery.
I will, using my sort of alpha model hoverboard, I will go ahead and sacrifice it. I will strip it apart to make enough wire to reach from him up towards the bus radio. I don't know if I'll be able to
alright.
plug it in, but I'm just gonna basically be pulling wire and plugging it into him. So hopefully that's using my iconic item there.
All right. Okay. So let's start with simply rolling tech. Let's start there. Just roll tech.
Also, we might have to have a talk after this because I have some questions.
Okay. We have one success. That gets us to 5. Now, because your iconic item, and normally an iconic item can never get destroyed, but I'm going to say your iconic item won't work until we can get a scene where you can repair it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you're using your iconic item, go ahead and click the bonus dice button that's there underneath RV.
Okay.
Twice. Oh,
There's one. There's another one.
wow.
Nice.
So we are up to 7 successes. Wow, this is a lot. I
Does he
will
get
say that
another one for tapping into the bus, like using the bus?
Because this is, I know, we're getting there. This is a really fun one. Thank you very much. Because this is working on a cyborg, that makes it a calculate. How many points do you have in calculate?
Calculate. I have 1 in calculate.
Roll the bonus die button again once.
Come on, big money. No.
Okay, nothing there. And because you are tying into the PA system of the bus that Enid just got working super well, that gives you 2 more dice. So push the button twice.
1 more. Okay.
Yay.
All right, we are at 8. We are at 8 successes. I'm actually going to purposely bounce to Tiffany. So all of this is kind of all going on at the same time. We've got all of this. You don't, whatever it is that's happening up there. I'm going to say, just for the sake of argument, like he's laying down and the bottom half is hanging inside the bus, like his little feetsies are dangling, and like you're plugging something into his like calf. Just because I think it's a funny picture. The bus is working, at least off of battery power. You know that what they want is in those boxes. The bus is running, so really just scare them off or get them to go away is the second part of the plan. What is it that Tiffany's doing?
Do you still need copper wire? Because I think I can do something probably better than copper wire.
Yeah, no, I sacrificed
Plugged
my
in.
iconic item for it.
I think because I'm a heart-heavy character, I think I'm gonna grab a couple of the syringes and stick them in my bag, and my bag, which also has sandwiches in it. And I'm gonna go to an open window, one that we haven't been able to close, and I'm gonna attempt to charm the raccoons and like befriend a little bit. I'm gonna try and tempt them with a sandwich and a syringe, and like I'm gonna lean out the window and I'm gonna go, hey, sweetie pies, ducklings, do you want a sandwich? You want a vaccine? And I'm gonna like throw them as far as I can. So honestly,
All right.
like this is probably I'm trying to pull a Snow White with some raccoons here.
All right, that works for me. That certainly seems charming. Like feed the trash panda and give them the medical supplies that they so desperately need.
I personally adore raccoons, so this is equal parts delightful and horrifying for me. And like, so this feels very true to myself that like I don't really want to hurt the raccoons. I want to give them what they want, but also get them off the bus, please.
All right, I love it. So, let's start with roll just the straight up heart. Oh boy,
Sheesh.
5 dice and nothing. That's okay, because we got some stuff that's going on here. Now, because I definitely think that this is charm. How many points do you have in charm?
2.
All right, so then roll that bonus die button twice.
Sheesh.
Oh, it's a tough one. They're bloodthirsty little mechanical bandit thingies. You do have, I will give you the first one is there's like a small handful, it's not a bunch, but there's a small handful of the raccoons that definitely are interested in that sandwich. So I'm gonna give you 1 die for the sandwich as an item. Roll that twice. Roll that once.
Nope. Sorry, guys. That is like 8 dice and nothing.
I know.
Happens.
But you do have the item that Enid was that Ren was able to figure out. So you get 2 dice for that item.
Wait, what do I do? What? Oh, for
roll the bonus
the
dice
vaccine?
twice. Yes.
Oh my god. No, it's 10 dice and nothing. Sorry, guys.
There's nothing there. That's tough. So here's the spot that you are in, though, as a player.
Right.
All
Lots
of
of
those-
raccoons paying attention.
All of those extra bonus dice, we're not going to be able to re-roll because those are those things. But you can spend a luck point. I believe you have 1. And
That would do my heart and charm.
that can re-roll both heart and charm for you. Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. I can't see myself using luck at a better time.
All right. So let's re-roll heart.
1
You
for
got
heart,
1.
and
You got
charm
1.
is 2 bonus. So 1
2
bonus.
bonus for charm.
1.
Nothing and nothing. Okay. You can also push this and risk a second injury. So you're gonna get.
I don't think I even have a first.
Well, you're close. You're close enough. You're close enough to the window that if you don't get a success, if you don't get another success here, they're close enough that they're gonna scratch you up.
What would the
Plus-
roll be?
Oh, you can re-roll the heart, but I'll only take the
dice.
first 4 because you got the 1 success. So I'll take those. So you can push this to get 4. I'll just have you click the button 4 times. But if you don't get at least 1 success in these 4, you're gonna take injure and another one. You'll describe to me what the other one is.
I don't think so.
By the way, we
no,
are
I want
at-
to save it. I think we're
You're
doing
at
okay.
9.
Everybody else is doing better. It'll
Okay.
come back around. Yeah, I think.
All right.
I think it's not worth it too.
Well, we're at 9, and Rasmus is the last person. So Rasmus, this is on you to get 6 successes here.
No pressure.
All right. So you are your brother is doing something weird with your calf. You're half laying on the top of this thing. You know that there are syringes that are apparently going to be useful. The bus is running. So half of it's done. You just got to scare these raccoons away. How do you want to do this?
So I'm going. Let me say everything, and you tell me the best way to work it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is a point of pride because I am the first Swedish ninja. This is my stand. This is my story. It will be told.
Okay, so make this work from a stereotypical 80s anime ninja type way.
So I scroll on my anime anthology cube, my iconic item, and I hand it to my brother, and I was like, because right now Thriller's playing, and my character doesn't care. So I'm like, brother, plug this into the aux. And I hand it to him. I assume aux is actually plug this into the cassette, whatever it is. I'm
Yeah,
like-
yeah, cassette player.
And then
It's got the little adapter on a string.
I've already got a cord going there, so I'm sure.
Sure.
beautiful. And then I'm just gonna climb up on top and tie like one of the bandages that Tiffany found around my head. And I'm just standing up there thinking, you hear an inner monologue. It's just like, this is my time. And whenever he plugs it in, it starts playing my favorite anime's theme. So it's just
Okay.
like Roll Ninja, whatever that anime song is. And I just
Sure.
probably am like, I am the Swedish ninja, come face me. And like just take a stance and get ready for whatever's about to come. Just
Okay, well it's coming, so you got to tell me what happens when it does.
oh, if it comes up, it's straight ninja moves. It's
All right.
straight karate chops and like leg sweeps and like
All right. Okay, that sounds good to me. Then here we go. Let's start. We'll just go through them one at a time. Let's start with this is going to be, you've got everything ready, and then 5 of these raccoon things pop up on the top, and you're straight karate chops. That's what you said. So make a body check. Let's start there.
All right.
All right, we got 1. Got 1, which is nice. That gets us to 10. We need 5 more successes. Now roll force, which is the skill for fighting. So how many points do you have in forced?
No.
None. Fantastic. There's nothing to roll there. That was easy. Plugging the cube in and giving you your like anime music that's playing over the top of it, but it's one of those weird incongruous like bop anime to the fight. So it's like ba chicka-da-doo, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Absolutely. Take 2 dice.
All right. Is that just 2 bonus dice rolls?
That little clicky button on the bottom. Click bonus dice twice. Oof. We got nothing. We got nothing there. We did the fighting. We got nothing on force. We got our and that's going there.
Can I use luck to re-roll any of this, or is that only for your main roll?
Now you can use luck and re-roll the 3 body dice. Yes. So you'll just click the button 3 times. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll do that because there's nothing else to do. So I'll use that and see if I can get anything better.
Okay.
1,
1,
3.
All right, we did get 1. Now you can choose to push it to re-roll the body again 3 more times. You're at 11. So even if you got all 3 successes. So yeah, you try and you see this moment where you think that you're absolutely going to be able to make this happen. And you do get one like cool spinning, like you spin 3 times with your legs sticking out like in the Kung Fu arcade game, and you kick one of these raccoons. And as soon as you land, you're facing sort of backwards so that you're facing the hatch.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the raccoons pour into the hatch while they distracted you at the front of the bus. Other raccoons snuck up the back of the bus. Those little mechanical raccoon ninjas.
Oh, no.
All of these raccoons pour in through the top hatch and up through the open windows. Their little raccoon metal claws and weird 2 faces on some of them that are there. Everybody ends up pretty bitten and scratched up. Luckily, they seem to be completely mechanical, so you don't have to worry about rabies.
Yay.
But everyone will take the injured. Condition, and these strong little trash pandas carry off a couple full boxes of these medical supplies that you were carrying for the bus.
I think as Raz sort of falls around, I quickly yank the wire out of his leg, or at least try to before he sees it.
I do want to know if I notice. Like, this is not me trying to be like, I want to catch you, but I need to know.
Yeah, do we need to roll
notice.
off to see if he if I can beat him?
Actually, yeah, there is actually a way to do this that works. So you would roll there, we're not going to put a condition tied to any of these, but the first thing that you would roll, Noah, is roll body. So you get 1 success off of that, and you don't lose the success off of the injury. And do you have any points in sneak? You try to do this fast and him not notice.
I do not.
Okay, so you just had that 1 success. You are trying to notice it, Rasmus. So you would roll mind. You have no successes. And do you have any points in investigate?
I have 1 point in investigate.
So roll that bonus dice just 1 time. So you pull that thing out just before he sort of falls. Not only is he scratched up, but he falls down through the thing. The raccoons take all of this stuff away. You're scratched up and a little bloody, and everybody also just like like this was terrifying, and you just got beat up by raccoons. And it's right then that you see in that like 30 seconds of them all being gone, you see the flashing lights of an emergency services vehicle, and it pulls up alongside. And then after that is you see like a tow truck, and a tow truck driver, a police officer, and the nurse
God, how are we gonna explain this
come
shit?
running into the bus. And the police officer looks at everything and says, "What have you kids been up to?" And that's where we're gonna close this episode.
Oh, that's very good.
Wow.
Woo! Oh, so a rough end, but a valiant fight at the end of all of that. I want to say thank you so much for everybody in chat. So many cool things, conversations going on over there. Lots of really great music. I wish we had the rights to play all of those musics. I really did. Even though we didn't win at the very end, I think all of us that played and watched are the real winners. The friends we made along the way. Thank you so much for joining us.
Fun.
We will continue this story next Sunday. So please be here. Bring people with you. Let's really continue this entire session. My name is Ryan. If you don't know me, you can find me on YouTube at Roll4 Initiative. Roll the number 4 Initiative. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at R4I Vlog. So please follow me there when I'm doing all this kind of fun stuff. And you can see me with the Mercs of Mischief pretty regularly as well. Let's go in the reverse order. Tell us what you're working on. Remind everyone where they can find you. Starting off, Sky.
You can always find me here at Mercenaries of Mischief, whether I'm playing a warlock or a cowboy. I'm always doing something. And today I was an android young man, so that's interesting. You can also catch me over at Noctum Sky on YouTube, where I have videos and will be uploading more eventually.
Absolutely. Our very own Jonathan.
You can find me here producing these shows. I will be here all through the month of June as we do all kinds of new experimental stuff that we've never done before, like Tales from the Loop. And I'm not known for having secrets from the rest of the cast, so fun stuff about that.
Absolutely. Beth, where can we follow all of the fun stuff you do?
I'm Beth, and you can find me cosplaying under the name Arcady. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook under the name Arcady Cosplay, ARKADY Cosplay.
Absolutely. Marina, where can we find you and all your awesome folks you play with?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Roll4 Initiative podcast. It's a D&D 5e adventure, and you can find us at DM's Table on Twitter.
Roll with advantage.
Yes.
We have too many rolling things. That's how we found each other. Yeah, Roll with Advantage, DM's Table. It's a really fun group, and it's a podcast. So it's great to just listen to while you're on a jog so that you'll be in really good shape to fight off robot raccoons. And then last to talk to, but the first person I asked, I absolutely knew I had to have you as a part of this group. RV, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, I'm on the Rise of the Demigods podcast, which is a all queer D&D podcast. That's at God's Fall Twitch channel, the God's Fall YouTube, and demigodsfall.com.
Awesome. So thank you all so much for joining us. Please make sure that you're following all of us. Follow all of us. Why not follow all of us? You just spent 4 hours with us. Follow us. That way you can find out what we're doing individually, as well as we'll see you back here next Sunday, 6 o'clock, to wrap up the story. And maybe they'll even figure out what that terrible howling scream was, dealing with the fallout of the robot raccoons and all of the other mysteries here. Maybe they'll even find out what happened to Sven. Bye, everybody.
Please work.
I don't want to be right. If them my human drinking's wrong, I don't wanna be right. Save!